I'm not ridging.
Okay.
Not.
Welcome everyone to episode 84 of the Looks Like a Movie podcast. I'm Kevin, Doug, and Owen. Why did I mess up my line? And today we're talking about Rebel Ridge.
What's your line?
I just read
Whose
the
line is
words.
it anyway?
I read the words out of order. It's supposed to be my
Wait, do you have
name,
a
Kevin,
script?
but I said, yeah, I have a script. I have like my little. It's like a loose script. It's just like I don't change it week by week. It's like the same thing every week. Anyway, we're talking about Rebel Ridge. We're also going to talk about New York Film Festival, which is upcoming, and we will all be attending. And we're going to do some way too early award season talk, Oscars talk. But first, as always,
I'm going to leak the script.
What we watched this past week. Owen, you want to get us started?
Yeah. We did a little. Oh shit. Fuck.
Hey, Doug, you want to get us started?
Yeah. Mine's easy. I didn't watch.
Didn't watch that movie.
Doug is addicted to video games once again. The video games have pulled Doug in.
It's so bad.
What's the name of this new game again? Can you remind me?
I'm playing. I've been playing Deadlock every day instead of watching movies.
24
every day.
hours. No
I don't know if I love the name of the game. It's not very memorable. I keep it having to be reminded by you what it's called.
Yeah, I don't naming.
But maybe it'll
hard.
stick when it gets more popular.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Kevin of movie names.
Oh, that's rude.
It's like kind of rude. I don't even. You know what the thing is though is that I've always been self-conscious about my name to begin with because I don't think Kevin's a very cool name. So like I didn't need you to point it out.
Yeah, I didn't watch any movies. I didn't watch any movies this week. I watched Rebel Ridge, but because every time I had any free time, I was just on the game. It was really it was like
killed left and right.
Yeah, no, it's so bad. It's okay. You guys are being rude, but
no, we're not being rude. You just have like a fucking KDR of like 0.32, so it's hard to be nice about it, you know.
That's rough.
I think this game is like bad though for like humanity. And I think I should stop playing it. It's kind of my.
This is kind of like when adults used to say that we should ban GTA because it's causing kids to do school shootings. You know,
I thought
I don't think it's like that at all.
They cause kids to go to the strip club.
I mean, Doug's saying that this game is unhealthy for the youth. He's kind of like an old man shouting about video games.
But he's playing them.
I guess that's true.
All day.
I think it's unhealthy.
He's like, kids shouldn't be on GTA, and he has like 10,000 hours on GTA.
10,000 hours is so much.
That's gonna be you in like 4 weeks, dude.
Oh no.
Yeah. Is it true that you deleted the game?
No, I played it this morning.
Okay.
I played 3 games this morning before we recorded the pod.
We could maybe. I think we'll let it sit for another week, but maybe next week's episode we'll start the pod with an intervention for Doug if he keeps playing 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Oh man!
If Doug shows up to next week's pod with no watches for the week, then we'll have a little intervention and start the steps for addiction.
That would be so bad.
Owen, do you have your movies prepared now?
Yeah, so I watched Uncle Boomy, Who Can Recall His Past Lives, the We Are Ethical film. I think I talked about the short film last week. If not, I watched his short film, A Letter to Uncle Boomy, that came out in 2009, and then in 2010 he did the feature, and fantastic movie, obviously. I rewatched Beetlejuice. I said I probably was going to see it again. I did go end up seeing it. Really fun movie. And then the rest of my week was kind of just like stuff I watched for school. So I watched The Gleaners and I, which is the Agnes Varda film, which is awesome. I think, that was my first Agnes Varda movie. Obviously, like a very important and well-renowned filmmaker in terms of documentarian space. But that was my first one. I really enjoyed it. I gotta watch it again for class. But then I watched The Rose King, which is a Werner Schroeder film from 1986, who I wasn't too familiar with him and his work. He was a kind of important figure in the German New Wave.
Any relation to Dennis?
Wait,
what? Famous.
Dennis Schroeder. I was like, sorry. I was expecting
they're both German. They got the same last name.
I was expecting you to bring up like another German filmmaker, and I was like, who's Dennis? No, Dennis Schroeder, Brooklyn Nets point guard. No relation there.
Brooklyn Nets.
No, but I mean, in terms of like Wim Wenders, Herzog, Fassbender,
Yeah.
like that
Actual,
space, like
actual filmmakers.
but he's kind of one of the more like the lesser known of that kind of group, but still a very important German filmmaker, and I was kind of introduced to him this week. And yeah, I really liked The Rose King. There's a lot of other films that he's made that I'm inclined to check out, but I did like that one. And I watched Rebel Ridge, obviously, and then last night I saw Vertigo on 70 millimeter at the Coolidge Corner up in Boston. And yeah, I mean, I've seen it before. It's been a few years. Really great print. It was weird though, because it was like really beautiful print, 70 millimeter, but there would be random times in the movie where the audio would just cut out. So it was like this crazy, like, big Vertigo. And then like there would be like a 20-second like just silent scene where like it obviously like wasn't like the score would just cut out, which was very weird.
Just like a theater issue.
I'm not sure. I'm not
sometimes
entirely sure on that.
Sometimes at like my local AMC, I'll be watching a movie.
Yeah, I've never had that experience at this theater.
Out.
I'm not sure if it was the film itself or the whatever was going on there. But that was just something. But yeah, no, I haven't seen. I saw the movie, I think a couple of years ago, but just seeing it in theaters was really cool. I thought, not to like spoil Vertigo or like go very into this, but I was thinking, Doug, you're muted. I was thinking I don't want to like just like open this Rebel Ridge pod and just be like explain the plot of Vertigo. But I was thinking at the end of the movie, after seeing it for the first time in a while, is like older movies kind of end very abruptly. There's a very case of like an older movie, like the thing will happen at the end, like boom, and then like cut to credits, where I think there's like this very reaction to and it happens in modern movies where you need like a lot of like closure and at least like something, like the ending scene will kind of happen and then you'll get like 5 or 10 minutes of like this like epilogue stuff. But like in a lot of older movies, you just kind of don't really have that. And I think I wanted to bring that up because I thought it was an interesting observation that I had. But yeah, I mean, Hitchcock, Vertigo, amazing. But that was kind of my week.
Nice. I also didn't watch too much, but I did get some stuff in. I did have some nights where I was locked in on our men's basketball league playoffs. I don't know if I've given any updates live.
Yeah, you want to talk about the experience there?
Yeah, I could give now that it's all over. I could kind of give the fans a rundown. For those who are familiar with Kevin Lore, I'm somewhat of a hooper, you might say. I'm somewhat of a baller, but no, my friends and I, we joined a men's basketball league. Turned out very poorly. It's nobody's to blame. I just think we weren't really prepared. There's certainly teams.
I mean, maybe you could have used Dennis Schroeder there.
Sure. Listen, we finished with like a 1-6 regular season record. And then we lost this past Thursday in the first round of the playoffs. And the team that we lost, listen, I will say a lot of the games that we lost during the regular season were very close games. This team that we just played in the playoffs during the regular season, we lost to them by 4 points. We were competitive. It's not like we were getting blown out. We did get blown out by them in the playoffs. And it's almost as if like a lot of these teams, and this will be a conversation with my teammates in the future if we join another league. Yeah. But it seems like a lot of these teams are just very well organized, and we were just kind of like a couple dudes who are like good at basketball, and we're like, let's just play, like let's just join a men's league. But like these guys, we're playing against dudes twice our age. Like the team we played in the playoffs, we have a theory that they're either like a group of cops or like firefighters or something. They really have that vibe. And one guy I was guarding was like 45 years old, dude. He had like gray hair and was balding, and like, but he was kind of a hooper, But the thing is like those old guys, they're just fundamental, They picked us apart. They broke our zone. They moved the ball well. They had great shooters. Like it's just they were organized. We didn't really have that. We were kind of just playing. We were so that doesn't work well. It seems like some of these other people have been in this league for, several seasons, have been coming back every year. So like they have some kind of thing. This is our first time around. So we'll see what happens if I ever join another one. Honestly, the experience was pretty shitty. I don't know if I'll be joining another one, but if I do,
you're one and done.
Yeah, no, if I do, I'll keep the pod updated.
Going straight to the league.
I did my thing. I hit my threes. I missed some open layups. Things happen. Movie wise, I watched Suspiria for the first time. I'll probably watch the remake at some point in the. I don't want to say near future. I'll probably spread them out a bit, but I watched the original.
Before you die, you'll check it out. Maybe.
I'll watch it at some point. I want to. I want to watch all of those
Mr.
movies.
Guadagnino.
Yeah, I want to watch all of his movies, and I don't have. I've seen most of the big ones except for Suspiria, so I'll check it off at some point. But the original was awesome. Really cool movie, really really colorful movie. Whole lot of colors in that movie.
A whole lot of red.
And then I don't want to give away a potential future podcast episode, but I started getting into my Halloween vibes because it's September, but I want to get into Halloween early. Yeah. So since I've seen the original Halloween so many times, I started my binge with a rewatch of Halloween 2, which I have seen, but when I was very young. I think my plan is I'm going to go through the whole franchise and then come back to the first Halloween at the end to see how I feel about it after seeing all the other ones, because I've already seen it so many times. And then I watched Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which was a first time watch. I had never seen that one before. Really cool. I don't really know the word on the street about it, but my understanding is that most people just hated it because Michael Myers isn't in it, which is kind of lame because it's
Michael Myers isn't in that one.
No. This is stop the bit.
Wait, it's Halloween. No. What do you mean?
I know.
Halloween 3.
This is a bad bit. This is a bad bit. No, but yeah, he's not in it, so it seems like people hate it for that reason. And if you just kind of watch it as a jolly little Halloween movie, it's so fun. If you watch it in the October season, it's it has a lot of cute little fall stuff that I really vibe with, and the story is so out there. It's so. I don't know. It's really cool. I like a lot of
instead of remaking Michael Myers and bringing him back, they should just remake Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
I'd watch something. I remember one of the top Letterboxd reviews was saying and I don't know if this is actually a good idea, but they were saying something along the lines of they should have just taken the Halloween franchise in this direction and every couple years just made a Halloween themed fall movie with
that was the original
stories.
idea.
The plan. Because they were
and that's fun.
Michael Myers
it is
his thing is done. We don't want to keep doing that. So the idea was to make it a sort of anthology where you would have just Halloween movies, horror movies set at Halloween, and that was the idea. And then nobody liked this one when it came out because they're we want Michael. So then they brought him back 19 more times.
Yeah, well, the big mistake was making Halloween 2 a sequel to the first one. Then you set a precedent.
Well, yeah, if you had Halloween and then you had the second one be a
sequel,
then people would have. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
Michael
I don't want to
became this cultural icon and
I don't want to give the Halloween movies too much talking time because, like I said, potentially hinting at a future pod episode. But I did like both of those
because it's September.
The two that I watched, I did enjoy, and I'm gonna keep that binge going pretty soon. But then I watched my first Mike Leigh film, Naked, which is I guess his most popular one, obviously.
Why'd you watch it naked?
Yeah,
you watched your first Mike Leigh movie naked.
A bad bit again, dude. That's 2 bad bits in a minute, bro. Come on.
Were you sitting on your chair? Where is it was it sticking?
I watched my. This is Little Children all over again, dude. This is Little Children again, bro.
What?
I watched Mike
Wait,
Leigh.
you're talking about you being naked and you got to bring up Little Children. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Guys, I watched Mike Leigh's 1993 movie Naked, starring.
Whoa! You're close. Did you always have the movie theater?
I don't care what year
a Pee Wee Herman moment.
The name of Mike Leigh's 1993 hit movie is Naked. And I watched it.
Where's its clothes?
Clothed. Okay. Anyway, David Thewlis, famous for Harry Potter, obviously. Yeah. Generational performance in this movie. I don't have to say anything.
Also, Ares in Wonder Woman.
It's one of those movies where the dialogue around it, like the discourse is kind of that like you're an annoying person if you like it, and I kind of like didn't want to be an annoying person, and then I watched it and I was like, sorry guys, it's good.
That ship has sold. Sailed.
Yeah.
Sold.
It's really good.
Sold to the highest bidder that ship has.
And then last night I watched Rachel Getting Married, which was like on my kind of come on, bro.
Did you give her like what present did you get?
Or you like the bridesmaid?
I'm locking up.
Did you like bring a guest to the wedding or like what was?
I watched Rachel Getting Married.
How do you know Rachel?
I watched Rachel Getting Married starring Anne Hathaway. How come you guys don't like? Why is it just my movies that get this treatment, dude? Why can't? What the fuck? It stars Anne Hathaway. It was really good. It was on like my kind of short list of potential watches that I wanted to do as prep for the pod we just did, the 25 movies pod that we just did. I was like, I was considering watching it before that, and I didn't get around to it, so I wanted to get around to it now.
They're saying that list, by the way, one of the best lists.
Yeah, they're saying it's good. That's the word.
You know what the thing is, like they actually are. Like this isn't even a bit. They just actually are saying that.
One of the greatest lists.
Yeah. They're saying what happened in 2005. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The 2005 ballots
got lost in the mail. They got lost in the mail.
Nobody knows what happened in 2005.
Our mailmen are working against democracy.
Anyway, Rachel Getting Married was the last.
Against Terrence Malick.
I watched the presidential debate.
We did all watch that, yes. Did we all? Did Owen watch it?
I don't think Owen watched it.
I was on the train and I was watching it on Twitter and it was like really laggy. So I'd get like a soundbite here and there.
You'd hear the eating cats and dogs part, and then it would cut out, and you'd be like, "What was that?" And then
well, I was keeping up with the clips, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but I was trying to coming in. I was trying to watch it on Twitter, but I was on the train, so the connection wasn't great.
Of course, of course. You should have downloaded it before you got on the train.
Download no, it was like going on.
That was
download.
Doug famously was an undecided voter leaning right. Has the debate changed your mind, or?
Well, I just think if Kamala just kept lying, and if she was just like, if she just like stopped trying to trick the American people, maybe she could have, but
yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm still an undecided voter. I'm an undecided voter with my mail-in ballot totally filled out for Donald Trump right now on my kitchen table.
Okay. I saw some TikTok this morning of like, I don't know if it was fucking ABC or something, but it was like some TikTok interview they did. It was like a bunch of people and they were like, I'm an independent. And then he was like, I'm a Republican. And they were like, we're going to monitor them during the debate and see if their vote changes after the debate. And I was like,
yeah.
Anyway, the TikTok didn't have follow up. It was just, I didn't bother.
All the comments are like, where's part 2?
Yeah, I didn't look for
one of those like Family Guy fucking clips.
I'm gonna take a guess and say that they're voting for who they wanted to vote for originally, but
they don't really care about the whole cats and dogs.
We'll do more debate talk perhaps later on the pod. Let's start getting into Rebel Ridge here.
Yeah, a little smooth transition into Rebel Ridge.
Yeah, right. Which is we're gonna talk about some politics, and to do that, I will preface the Rebel Ridge talk by saying that at some point we're gonna have to talk about the ending of this movie. So spoilers ahead if you haven't watched it yet. It is streaming on Netflix, or you can find it by whatever other means. It's out there. You can watch it now. So if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want it spoiled, you could go watch it and come back and listen after. But let's get into
skip ahead to a later segment.
Sure, or skip ahead to after Rebel Ridge. That's also an option.
Or just like put us on the TV muted and just like play music and like just hang out.
Yeah, just to get our watch time up, just to get the numbers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we need to pump. I'm gonna be honest, guys. We need to pump those numbers. It's getting a little dire.
Some of you are falling off after 20 minutes, maybe even 15, 10.
Some of you guys click on the episode and then just like comment and then leave.
Yeah,
you comment hateful things. About Kevin's
appearance. You're not even liking.
What the fuck? No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Okay, we were going to tell you, Kevin. I have to go in and delete the comments.
Yeah, dude, it's like...
Why am I getting all the shit this episode?
Bro, I didn't comment the comments.
This is like the 4th time. We haven't even hit the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, we're trying to get everything in.
Where do we want to start with Rebel Ridge? Because we're gonna get to that stuff at the end after. But I feel like maybe a natural place to start would be talking about Aaron Pierre, who
I think a natural place to start is like what the movie's about.
Sure. The movie is about a former Marine played by Aaron Pierre. He plays the star. He is in I want to say Louisiana town, right? Is that correct?
I don't know if they say.
I think they say maybe Louisiana or Florida, somewhere around that area.
I think it might be Alabama.
It's a red state.
It's a red state, sure. He has traveled there to bail his cousin out of jail. And the reason why he's in
Louisiana, at least that's where it's shot.
Cool. Yeah, at least it's
Shelby Springs.
Okay. The reason why he's urgently trying to bail his cousin out of jail is because his cousin, if he gets transferred to a state prison, is at risk of being murdered by I forget the exact.
Owen.
Forget the exact.
that was the stab. I don't know. That wasn't really a stab.
No, I got what you were doing, but that was
I know.
Yeah, that was.
That's what
anyway, he's trying to stop his cousin from being murdered, so he's trying to bail him out. And he arrives in this town, and the movie opens right away with him being nailed by a police car while he's riding his bike,
and he gets fucking doinked.
And he has his money stolen from him by the cops, the money that he was going to use to bail out his cousin. And so now it turns into a situation of him trying to get his cousin out of jail on time and fight against this corrupt police force that has attacked him and stolen his money. And that's the setup, at least, and we could get into some of the details.
Yeah, well, that's the setup, and it's also like the whole movie. It's interesting. Well, it's not a
I don't want to get into issues right away, but it's not the quickest movie. It is. There's a lot that happens in the middle that's kind of repetitive, but I feel like we'll get there.
Well, and it's also the film is very simple, I think, in all aspects, which is kind of interesting for something like this. Would
you like to expand, or?
Well, no, like narratively, right? Narratively,
yes, narratively, it's very simple.
It's very simple, but then also like the filmmaking is so very like simple. Color by numbers, like it's like very color by numbers, to the way where I was like, oh, this is kind of I'm forgiving of this because it's a streaming movie and like the narrative is pretty interesting, and then I stopped really liking the narrative at some point.
And I ask if either of you has seen a Jeremy Saulnier movie and or what you thought about it.
I've seen Green Room. That movie's fun.
And did you? Okay, you liked it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, because Green Room is it's a very fun concept. It's about this punk band that goes and plays at this Nazi bar, and then they get stuck in the fucking green room where all the Nazis are trying to kill them.
They get trapped there, and the Nazis are trying to kill them. Yeah,
it's
that movie rocks. I really like that movie. I've seen Green Room a number of times, probably like 4 times now, because it's one of those movies that you just like want to watch with friends. You know, it's good for repeat viewings to show to somebody.
Sure.
And it definitely kind of gives you. I think that being the only other movie of his I've seen, and I imagine is probably a little bit more similar to his other movies, it maybe gives you a bit of a false idea of what Rebel Ridge might be as an action movie, because Green Room is obviously like very violent.
Yeah. No, my big complaint with Rebel Moon actually is
Rebel
like,
Moon. You keep calling it Rebel Moon off pod as well.
I keep doing that.
Off pod, he's been calling it Rebel Moon.
Rebel Ridge. Rebel Ridge. One of my really big issues with this film is that it was framed to me, it was delivered to me and packaged to me from social media buzz as an action movie.
With not much action in it, yeah.
Which I guess is technically correct because there are action scenes in it, kind of. But it's like the Aaron Pierre character, this is another decision that was made, I guess. Only like he's like Batman. He's like only using like non-lethal. He like breaks one guy's arm. Like
we learn that he is like very skilled in hand-to-hand combat. In fact, so skilled that he's on the military's Wikipedia page.
He is on the Wikipedia page, yeah.
for the type of combat that he's an expert in. He's like
They're
a
like,
trainer.
oh fuck, he's on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, which is like my favorite part of the movie. That's like I thought that was so cool. I thought that was so funny. I don't know. I'll say I liked the movie. I really like Aaron Pierre. I get where Doug is coming from in the sense that like it definitely was sold to me as something else, and I definitely, having seen Green Room, went into it being like, okay, this is I heard people say it was a slow burn, so I went into it under that, and as I was watching it, I was like, okay, so this is going to be build up, and then there was going to be like violent action at the end of it.
It never burns.
There is no violent action.
Well, there is an action scene at the end.
No, there is huge action at the end, but it's not like violent the way that Green Room is violent. And I think the reason why I still liked the movie is because I was fine with what it was instead. Like Jeremy Saulnier kind of said that the inspiration, like one of the inspirations was kind of like a Michael Clayton meets Rambo situation. And I really like the kind of like political thriller investigative movies. So when the whole like first hour plus of this movie is just kind of people in rooms talking about like legal stuff, I'm just like, that's my jam already. Like I already
that was stuff. Cool. I like that too. So like the setup. Okay, so it's like what Kevin said. He rides into this town and he gets harassed by cops, and it's like a really it's like not an unrealistic. It's like maybe an extreme kind of situation, but it's not like,
I wouldn't even say that.
I would say it is not unrealistic, but it's like maybe a little abnormal for how hostile they're being. And they fucking steal all of his money. It's like really crazy and kind of upsetting watching it. So, and they steal all his money that he needs to bail out his cousin, and then he goes to the courthouse or whatever, and he's like talking to people trying to figure out the situation, and he meets, God, what's the actress's name?
Anna Sophia Robb.
Yeah.
Yes. Bridget Terabithia.
We should mention she is famous child actress Anna Sophia Robb. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The kind of like, I've read some of Jeremy Saulnier talking about this, but like the inception of the movie comes from like the legal side of it, which is like he read about civil asset forfeiture, which is what we're kind of like talking about, the money being stolen from him, which is like this really corrupt legal practice where police are just kind of allowed to, like the name suggests, civil asset forfeiture, take people's assets if they deem that, like, you know, in his case, it's money that he's using to bail his cousin out of jail, but they could just deem it drug money and then steal it from him, and he's just pretty much not able to get it back. So that's kind of like conceptually the idea behind it, is this idea of like civil asset forfeiture and how it's this corrupt legal practice that just exists and also helps in a lot of like these small towns fund their police stations. Like these police are specifically getting most of their money just like doing this to people repeatedly, just claiming their money and using it for their own benefit.
It's like a whole conspiracy in this movie. It's very like, it's like they're doing it, they're like figuring out ways to get like lure people in even so that they could steal their money, or like claim their assets. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, that it's kind of over the top because they literally just ram their car into his bike while like, and that's how you open the movie. But it's also like, I don't know, you can't put violence past police like in any form. So it's all kind of
I'm
like
not saying that's it's not unrealistic, but it is like, it's like that part
is an extreme, and it's an extreme for sure.
And then the only other thing, or my gut reaction to watching this movie, I was like, oh, interesting, because the sheriff is like a cartoon villain.
Don Johnson.
Yeah.
He's Miami Vice's own Don
He's like
Johnson.
a cartoon. He's like a cartoon villain, and he's like the only kind of. It's interesting because he's almost like too evil in the way that he is like acting, I feel like, but then like, not all cops, you know.
That's okay. Well, yeah, we're gonna get there, but also I have some things to say. I feel
but
like
Pam Beasley's ex fucking fiance over here.
Who?
What?
What?
He's from After Earth. The guy from After Earth. The cop.
Amaury Cohen. Don Johnson?
David Denman. David Denman.
Oh, David Denman. Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say Amori Cohen, I think, is really like solid as kind of like the initial.
Oh, I was just bringing a guy up.
Yeah, you were just bringing up the guy. Yeah, you're kind of spoiling the part that we're gonna get to later. Okay, so you didn't like it as an action movie.
Well, no, yeah, and also there's the GIF of
the GIF
of him like cocking the shotgun and walking towards the camera,
Sure.
and it's like also like really led me astray here.
Yeah, but did you like Aaron Pierre?
Yes.
Yeah,
no, Aaron Pierre is sensational in this movie.
Okay.
Of course,
that doesn't matter.
At least I'm not saying it. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, he's great.
There was something
fantastic.
we all agree on.
He's very talented actor.
I think it's a worthy talking point because he's like a guy that we've kind of just like
mid-sized sedan.
Hasn't really seen
mid-sized
like
sedan.
Get bigger roles.
So
actually, this is a great
like
opportunity.
A jumping off point.
He's in Old. He's in Foe.
Yeah,
which I have seen.
Rebel Ridge.
Yeah,
he's in 2 films that I'm not familiar with. Barry Jenkins from 2021, 52 Minutes. The Gaze.
Yeah, and then Brother, which was like kind of a
Clement Virgo at front of the pod. Aiden, big fan of this movie.
I've been wanting to watch Brother for a while.
In 2024, he will be in the next Barry Jenkins movie. He will be playing Mufasa.
Yes, in Mufasa, which is a huge, I mean, voice acting role, but like that's a huge.
Yeah, no,
it's a huge movie.
Really big.
That
he's replacing James Earl Jones. He's stepping into James Earl Jones' shoes. That's crazy.
It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, though. Where when those movies came out, the big problem was they were like, I don't want to take this role because no one's gonna know I'm the turtle, right? They're just gonna be like, that's Donatello, and that's not gonna get me fame. But then they were like, hey, we're gonna do all this press. You're gonna be in China, and you're gonna be promoting the movie, right? So they're gonna know you. But then they didn't do the press. So it's like Mufasa, the movie's gonna come out, and no one's gonna be like, wow, Aaron Pierre was great. They're like, I love Mufasa. That's what they're gonna do. That's the problem with these kind of roles.
People are gonna be asking about it though, because I don't know if you know this. James Earl Jones voiced Mufasa. Rest in peace.
Yeah, but that's different. Because he was big already. He was James Earl Jones. You know, he was Darth Vader.
Right, but you're stepping into the shoes of James Earl Jones.
But no one.
Yeah,
but then.
It's going to be a conversation. I get what Doug is saying. It's going to be a topic of conversation because sadly James Earl Jones just passed away this past week, and that is going to be a thing that comes up when the movie comes out. Is like, this is the most iconic voice in like the history of cinema, and now this guy who's been in 5 movies is stepping in to play the same character. People are going to talk about it. And if people like the movie, then they're really going to talk about it, which is very unlikely. But you know, I'm just saying the movie's going to make $1 billion. Like, people are going to talk about it.
No, it's going to make $1 billion.
It's going to make so much money.
And it's like, I mean, the guy's been in prior to Rebel Ridge and Mufasa, the guy's been in 4 movies in supporting roles, and now he gets to star in a big Netflix movie.
He's great.
And then immediately do Mufasa. I mean, it's just like, you know, he might not get that much recognition for it, but he's clearly like
the Mufasa role will not have it. I'm not gonna say on a bet, but I'm gonna be like, looking back on, I don't think the Mufasa role, with or without that, would have. It's not going to be anything really for his career. I mean,
I just think it's good
personal,
trajectory wise.
I don't think it does anything to
Is he not going to be? I think being the lead, even if it's just a voice acting role, being the lead in a movie that grosses $1 billion.
I don't think voice acting roles do anything for that. No.
But also, Owen, voice acting is like its own thing as well.
It's not its own thing. Yeah, he can go on and be in other. I don't think the voice acting roles, like, he's gonna get another voice acting role.
Jason Schwartzman was a voice actor in Spider-Man.
What?
Okay, no, he lost.
You completely. I was gonna like try to take your side, Doug, and now you just brought up something totally irrelevant. My point is, I think it's good. I just think it's good trajectory wise to go from like a couple supporting roles to being the lead of a big movie, and I think
the lead of a huge movie.
I think Rebel Ridge is way bigger.
Sure, because people are going to recognize him and they're going to want him in more action movies. But I'm just saying, I just think
he's also really good in Rebel
Ridge.
Like
a year for both of these to come out is going to be a big deal.
No, I mean, he's never been bigger.
Do you know who was supposed to be?
John Boyega.
Yeah, John Boyega.
Right. This movie was in production for 5 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
John Boyega doesn't have the kind of intensity, I think.
No,
Yeah,
he
Aaron
doesn't.
Pierre
I'm a big
is
John Boyega
huge.
fan. I think that John Boyega, I kind of talked about this a little bit. I don't know if I've ever really gone into it on the podcast before, but John Boyega he should have been like a big star, like truly like a.
No,
I mean,
like really.
yeah, but like I think like this
can't ever be in a Star Wars movie. It's not.
Yeah,
really
the Star Wars thing that just really
anybody.
like kind of crushed his career.
Kind
a
of
little
the
bit.
only guy to get out of that
the
was Driver.
I think he's like landing back on his feet. Like I think it's.
I mean, he's gonna have a fine career,
I mean,
but when you're in one of those big movies, like you say, these big live action movies, the kind of idea is that you're going to be this big thing. And
yeah,
he was in They Clone Tyrone that came out like last.
That's what
year.
I mean. Like
that
he's
was like
it's a big movie.
Netflix movie, but that, Netflix is a whole different.
No,
game.
yeah, but John Boyega should have. I mean, I don't know. He's so talented. He should have been. He should have been like a big. Yeah, like
I mean,
Adam
he's
Driver.
not.
I mean, he's so young. I think that there's still so much to see. Like, I think he could totally pivot back in the other direction. I don't know that he's ever gonna be like a major star, but like, do you even want him to be? You know, like, do you need him leading like?
Remember The Circle?
Well, my thing was, I always said this was before the James Gunn DC stuff happened, but I always said I think that John Boyega should play Superman. I was like, I really like that idea.
That would be cool.
But that's
I just think for this type of role, Aaron Pierre is like they found the perfect guy. They found
and
that
was my point, right? I think that John Boyega was like the wrong choice for this project.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine
him. I can't picture anybody else doing it. I mean, Aaron Pierre is like, I mean, Owen said it already, but like the intensity, like the fucking just his stature alone, like just his presence on screen,
it's a whole
so
different physicality. And I'm not saying John Boyega would have been bad, but I think Aaron Pierre's kind of just built for something like this way more.
Yeah. Is this the type of role you'd like to see him in more in the future in a better movie, since you guys don't like the movie?
I honestly,
what are we saying about this? Else? Like this role being like fighting.
I'm saying, I'm saying, would you like to see him?
I don't get typecast
as an action star. No.
I think.
I think specifically, and I don't know if Aaron Pierre probably wouldn't want something like this as a career, maybe as like in an ideal world. But I think that Aaron Pierre as like a streaming or like even a direct-to-video action star would be
I don't think that's what you want.
That shit is so cool though. You guys don't get it. You guys don't.
What you mean, like
we went from like
Mufasa's
gonna make
like, are you talking about
gonna make him a superstar?
Like Scott
Atkins,
gonna be like Scott Atkins, like somebody that like
Tubi movies,
not like Tubi movies, but like Netflix stuff, or like you know.
He's saying like when Netflix builds their Mount Rushmore with Millie Bobby Brown and all the other people, he'll be one of the 4 people on the Netflix Mount Rushmore.
I'm not saying no. I'm not even saying like like shitty. I'm not saying like shitty movies. I'm like, but like smaller, like smaller kind of like cool like action stuff.
Yeah. So you don't want him to get to the levels of like The Rock or something.
The Rock does shitty movies anyway.
Do you want Aaron Pierre to be fucking?
I'm not asking questions because I agree with them. Damn, I'm just trying to. Fucking
no, I mean I know I don't want Black Adam. I don't want Black Adam shoved on Aaron Pierre, or I don't want like being like the 4th lead in Fantastic Four shoved on this guy. Not Fantastic Four, in Fast and the Furious. Sorry, shoved on this guy. Like everybody's like, oh, Aaron Pierre should be Green Lantern. That's what everybody on Twitter is saying. I haven't
seen that one.
Oh, I've seen that fan cast so many times on Twitter.
Every time a new black actor rises to popularity, he immediately gets cast in like a fan cast in the superhero movies, because they're like they know like 3 black actors. So when they find out about a new one, they're like, finally, someone else is getting fan cast as Green Lantern.
Yeah. I like,
jeez, man.
Like The Killer.
They don't even give him a chance.
No, like the Killer's Game, I should say.
Sure, there you go, Dave Bautista.
With Dave Bautista. Yeah. Like stuff like that would be awesome.
Okay, yeah, I'd like him to be in a good movie, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, let's pivot back to Rebel Ridge then, because you guys both don't like the movie. I do. We should probably talk about the actual movie, I guess. I'll save my positives for after, I guess, because it seems like you guys want to talk more negative. So let's go in that direction first.
And why do you hate this movie and really love police officers? You know,
that's
you're trying to refund the police. Hashtag refund the police. You know,
no. I think this movie's incredibly dull.
Oh yeah.
It's really bland. I don't think it's like there's nothing really egregiously wrong with the film. I just don't think it does anything really good. So well, it's like I said, Aaron Pierre's performance is good, and I think you could take that away from him or this movie as like Aaron Pierre's a great actor. But I kind of already knew that. And that's not to say that like his performance isn't good. I just don't think any in this movie really grabs me. And yeah, the whole like kind of courtroom drama stuff you're talking about, or not the court, just people in rooms talking, I just think is so boring here. And the action's like whatever, but it's like I just by the time we get there, it's like I don't care about any of it. So that's my big issue. It's like a whatever movie, but it does feel like a streaming movie to me, very much.
Okay. So I think it does as well, but not in a way that bothered me. I don't know. I think how contained the story is to where it's like a small town, but there's not a whole ton of people around is very like streaming movie kind of stuff.
Well, I don't care about that.
I think like the way that it looks and like the form of the film.
Oh sure, yeah.
It reminds me of The Killer, the remake, the John Woo direct to streaming movie that just aired. And that's a lot of people's complaints.
But you liked, didn't you?
Yes, no, I do. But yes, okay. I do like that movie. But a lot of people's complaints were like, "Oh, that don't even watch a lot of streaming stuff." We're like, "Oh, this just feels like streaming slop, or it looks like streaming slop." And I'm like, "This feels like that, but without the John Woo fucking voodoo magic that goes on in that movie."
Okay.
It's like just the here's the cameras we use at Netflix, here are the lenses we use at Netflix usually. And then you go out and like, everybody's hitting their marks. It's like yeah, I don't know, it's boring. It's not there's no risks taken formally,
Yeah. And I will say, like, I mean, we brought up some other actors, but I think like I said, Aaron Pierre is good. I don't think anyone else is good or even really memorable. To the point of like I don't care about anybody. It's so like nothing is like it's a nothing movie.
If Aaron Pierre wasn't in this movie, this would be such a nothing movie. This would be like there would be nothing memorable about it really, other than the fact that it's like,
I think it's the most like cops. Oh, he's a good actor, but that's it.
You put somebody with less screen presence than Aaron Pierre in the movie, and it kind of falls apart, I think.
I agree, but I still think the rest of the cast is good. I think they would look worse next to somebody who's not Aaron Pierre, but sure. I do think everybody else is still good. I do think Don Johnson's really fun. I thought Amori Cohen was like really good as a corrupt cop. I don't know. I really dig him as like a kind of character actor, just like guy who shows up in things. I know he was in the Bike Riders earlier this year, but I don't even remember which role he was. But
I don't remember either.
But I've seen him in a lot. He was like one of those guys who like 10 years ago was being talked about as like one of those like young up and comers, and then it just never happened.
He played Cockroach.
Sure, there you go. But anyway, but now he's just kind of like, it never happened. He never like really rose to stardom, and now he just gets to do like kind of fun character actor parts. And like I think he's good in this. I think he is like a very believable, fucked up kind of evil cop. I don't know. I thought he had some really good moments. I think there's a moment with him where he kind of like where like a shooting happens, he kind of like pulls him over a second time and then like and tries to like throw the gun in the car so that he has a reason to shoot him. I thought that was like really good from him as like performance wise. I think he's solid.
In this movie, he looks like Los Polos, the streamer. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, yeah, he kind of just does look like that.
Imagine if it was the exact same movie, but you just swapped him out with Los Polos. Probably gain a star from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that I don't think Anna Sophia Robb is bad in the movie.
I think she has a child actor syndrome.
I think some of the subplot involving her is like a little bit messy narratively, because like you guys said, it's like so simple, and then I think to like introduce this like other element to the story that is
she's
ultimately like only a reason for him to return to the corrupt town, like her subplot really only exists so that Aaron Pierre has like a reason to be forced back, and so that it becomes this kind of like Western, like guy shows up to a town and fights like the corrupt chief or whatever type of deal. Like that's
he
really
has to
the
do
exist.
it fairly, and he can't hurt anybody too bad, and he has
Yes,
to not break too many laws, and he has to stick within a very strict moral code.
Yes. The strict moral code part, though,
It's
I think you're
very
pushing it.
strict.
I think you're pushing it because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
They shoot at him. They shoot at him. They try to kill him. They put a bullet in his back, and he like still like doesn't do anything. He like doesn't hurt them or anything.
But from okay, this is my understanding of like how the story is written, I think, and what Jeremy Saulnier said in the interview. And we could get into the ending stuff. Well, let's explain it first so that we could talk about it with all the necessary context. So what happens at the ending is a big shootout where he shows up at the police station and decides to fuck shit up, kind of, but without killing anybody. There's a cop who is one of the cops at the police station is secretly helping AnnaSophia Robb's character, but like doesn't want to expose himself as like a cop who's like a quote unquote good guy or whatever to the other cops. And so that is one side of it. And then the other side of it is that in the big final chase, a different cop, a woman cop who has been bad the whole time. We thought she would be the good one, but she actually turns out to just be a cop. And then in the final chase,
it's a double twist.
Yeah, and then in the final chase, she in the moment where they're about to capture Aaron Pierre, floors her car, catches up to the chief, and steers him off the road so that she can save the day, and Aaron Pierre can get away to safety. So that's like the setup for what we're about to talk about. As for like the strict moral code thing, I think my understanding at least is that Jeremy Saulnier said that he knows exactly what the ending is if it's just a movie where he kills all of the cops and then either has to die at the end or gets arrested and goes to jail for the rest of his life. So I think personally, it's much less like strict moral code where the character in his head is being like, I don't want to kill anybody, as opposed to the character in his head is being like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. Like it's like a self-preservation thing. Like he knows that he's walked into a corrupt town. He has seen how corrupt it can be. So he's already aware of the fact that shit's probably not going to go his way. Like if he kills all these cops, he knows that everybody around is going to blame him because he's already seen how corrupt the area is. So from his perspective, he's like, I'm not going to fucking kill these guys because like what does that do? If I expose them as corrupt cops, maybe that's a bigger thing. Like they could actually get punished. But if I kill them, then I'm just going to get punished and I'm just going to fucking go to jail for the rest of my life. And like, who wants that? Like I mean, from the beginning of the movie, all he wants to do is bail his cousin out of jail and be fucking gone. Like he wants to get far away from there. He's like ready to move on with his life.
Yeah.
Going to jail for the rest of his life. Like that's the complete opposite of what we've already established about his character. Like his character already wants to hit the road and run. So why the fuck would he want to, you know what I mean? They're saying they set up the movie by being like him and his cousin want to like buy a fishing boat or whatever and like go far away from where they are and like start a new life. So if that is like who you are as a person, then the last thing you want to do is go murder a bunch of cops and have your entire future ruined. Like,
I think that is logical from a certain perspective. I don't know if that makes like total sense though, in the sense that the assumption was, I think, for the character that they were just going to pin everything on him regardless. But
yes.
I don't know. None of that really even matters. It's not even like about a logic brain perspective as much as it's about a
yeah, I hate to be the logic brained guy, but I just mean like, because obviously the cooler movie is he kills a bunch of cops and it's like a badass action movie where he kills a bunch of cops. No shit. Like that's like, that was my perspective too, where like I mean I would have liked the movie more if that was the movie, but I definitely understand like what Jeremy Saulnier is saying, where he's like, we've seen that movie. Like we know that, I mean, the movie is like, you know, he says like Rambo is like a point of inspiration, like that kind of stuff. He's like, these things happen and we know how those stories go. So like from his perspective, it's something different. And like, yeah, it's not the most exciting as like, because it's kind of an anti-action movie at that point. If he's not just going to go murder a bunch of cops, and obviously it's cool to murder a bunch of cops, but I get it. Like on a character level, it makes sense for his character.
Yeah, no, yeah. The logic stuff, it's like, yeah, I get it. It's also so like that's like one layer of it, but then there's also which doesn't even really matter. That's like a baby. That's like a kind of a baby complaint. That's like I like action movie complaint, almost. Yeah. But also, it is like they're not killing cops in the movie. They're not killing. It's like kind of a big point that he's not killing any of the cops in the movie. And then also, not all of the cops are bad, even though the setup of the movie is kind of like this like the local police force is like a fucking like gang, and then they like because of the
I could only defend that part so far
of some of the other police officers are like, wait, actually, maybe this is too far. Even though it's like, what do you mean this is too far? You guys killed his fucking cousin, and and it's like, and you snuck into this girl's house and injected her with heroin, and it's like,
no, I mean they're like, but that's the thing is I think it's both like all the things that you describe and all the things that we see for like the first 90 minutes of the movie are like evil fucking cops. And so like you're never meant to side with them anyway. And then it does kind of undermine all that when you get to the end and they kind of have like their whole hero cop moment or whatever. But I think it's not, yeah, it's such a tough position to be in because my position is obviously I fucking hate cops. So like duh, I don't like I think they all suck and that's like no surprise. So I don't want to be the guy who's like, well, actually some cops are kind of okay. Like I don't want to like defend that, but I think like if we're going back to kind of the logic brain stuff of it all, I do think it's not quite black and white. I think it is a little bit more like he's trying to I think and listen, if he does it successfully or not is up for debate. You obviously think he doesn't, but like I think the way he was trying to make the movie is to paint at least the woman cop. The other cop we could talk about, but the woman cop who kind of like saves the day, paint it as like she is a bad cop, like just a bad person throughout the movie and is like an evil corrupt cop and has like what you could describe as just a natural human response to something. And it doesn't mean that she's a good person and it doesn't mean that cops are okay, but I think he just wanted the character to be less one note than like all these cops are super villain evil, which is like I don't know. It's less I don't want to say it's less interesting because the other version of the movie is guy goes on a rampage and kills a bunch of cops, which is a fun movie, like you said. But I think he's trying to paint it as like a more complex, like interior human struggle where like she sees something bad and she's not the one who was fucking drugging Anna Sophia Robb. Like she's like kind of just there as like an extra cop.
But this is the thing about like the police as an idea is like it's like they're all complicit in
I know, and I'm not denying that. I'm just saying like from the perspective of like what she does at the end of the movie, I think it really is just her. It's either one of two things in my opinion. It's either she's actually just being selfish and doing this so that because she thinks that they're going to get busted anyway and she doesn't want to be in trouble, so she's like self-preservation again. Like it's like if I'm the cop who saves the day, then when the whole corrupt police force goes down, I'm not going to be the one to blame. Like I'm not going to have to face any punishment, which is still corrupt.
It feels like it, or it appears like in the movie her change, the big switch for her was when the other cop was good and then the cops still were trying to kill them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's like, which is like, that's what I mean, where it's like, the fact that guy was like, why did that guy change? That was
that guy was already like that to begin with. And I think listen, here's the thing. And this probably is like a more nuanced conversation to have than we're ever going to end up having on the podcast. But like, even though they all fucking suck and we hate all these cops, right? What the movie is setting up with this idea of like the fucking whatever the fuck it's called, the money theft or whatever that they do to like fund their police station. What the movie is setting up is that in some like super rural communities, people are just kind of forced into this shitty job as a cop because these communities have no funding. And it doesn't mean that you're a good person for being a cop or whatever, but in some instances, like this guy who is like, who at least probably sees himself as a good person, some random rural guy in Louisiana might not is who is a cop is not going to be like, oh, cops are evil or whatever. Like, he is a cop, but like it doesn't mean that like you can't still be like from our perspective we think he's a piece of shit, but it doesn't mean he can't see himself differently and still be like, I'm going to do a good thing for my friend because it's like a small community. It's like people know each other, and he obviously knows Anna Sophia Robb. He he doesn't if he thought being a cop was evil, he'd fucking retire, but he hasn't. But it doesn't mean he can't just like do things to help somebody and still just happen to be a cop.
Also, okay, yeah, you could. So this, I don't think it's a strength of the film though to have one of these police officers to be like kind of like a nuanced human being, and then another one of them be like Dr. Robotnik, like you know what I mean? Because it's like
I get what. Also, like, I think you're overselling the Don Johnson thing. Like, he's just like an asshole cop. He's just like
he's so evil. What do you mean? He's like a super villain. What do you mean? He's like crazy evil in this movie. Like, it's nuts.
It's like, yeah, kind of, but it's like it's not like not to the point where you're making it seem like he's fucking Thanos, dude. He's just like a cop who's
dude,
like evil.
He got his cousin killed in the jail on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, he made sure that happened.
Of course,
yeah. But then when
yeah.
And then also they raided the fucking Chinese place and like stole all the fucking the Chinese place is safe. And when he brings it up, he like smiles and it's like he's a super villain. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but he's just like he's just like a fucking police chief abusing his power though. I mean, yes, sure, he goes to like degrees where it's like obviously like really fucked up. But I don't think. But the movie wants us to think it's really fucked up. Like, and it's like I don't think he's doing anything. It's not just like a police chief
that's like abusing his power. It's not even just like the specific actions. It's also like his demeanor and like the way that he carries himself. Where he's like I have superpowers. Fuck you, buddy. And it's
but that's like a power trip ass thing to do. I don't know. I do think, from my perspective, he's not as like over the top supervillain as he is for you. I think there's still like a world in which he is grounded in like some kind of reality, even if the actions are like being pushed to the edges a little bit. Like, they're like it's stuff that you wouldn't see at every police station across America. Like, even if it's like a bit extreme, I do think it's still mostly believable as like a real story. As like there could be a corrupt police chief who does that. I mean, like, it's like, if cops could fucking kill people on the street, then I really don't put it past them to organize some kind of situation in which they kill someone in jail too. I mean, it's like, that's like,
they do that in real life.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think any of this is not
but here's the thing. There's a difference between talking about it on like a big scale where there's a million, or there's like a million police officers and cops, or like a person that we would categorize under the umbrella of the word cop, right, in the United States, right? That's one thing.
Yes.
And then you have a town of less than 1,000 people in Louisiana, right? That's like, when you make it so small, it's like, okay, you're like being complicit in like the bad stuff about being a cop gets so much louder when like your chief is doing like the really like evil big stuff that happens on a large scale, doesn't happen in every community.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
I get what you're saying. I'm not saying he's not complicit. I don't think any of the cops in the movie are like good guys. I think the perspective of the story is like listen, you said that you don't think it's like it works as like a complex like study of like people, and that's fine, but I do think that that's ultimately the goal. I think the goal from his perspective was like, make a movie that starts a conversation like this, as opposed to like just an action movie where a bunch of people get murdered. Like, that's a different movie, and this is much more like corrupt small town, like broken legal system, and like at least someone trying to paint cops as complex characters, whether or not you think it's effective. That's what I think it is. I think he was trying to avoid the movie that you're talking about, which from your perspective is a cooler movie, but that's not the movie that he wants to make. I think he's done, I mean, he even says kind of that he's done like the violent, like green room type stuff, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to do something else. And like he cites Michael Clayton as inspiration, which is literally like a fucking, like a political, like legal thriller. And that's what he ends up making. I think he just wanted to make a different movie. And I know you're saying it's not successful. That's a different thing. I'm not saying you don't have to like it. I'm saying
it's fine. I mean, he made a boring movie. Yeah,
different.
he made a boring movie. Like, I don't know. It's
okay, that's fine. But you get what I'm saying. It's like,
no, I understand what you're saying. I understand like that he might have had like specific like he had his goals when writing this film and executing it. I think that's almost irrelevant because I think the film is so boring and so like such a nothing burger. Because it's like you could have a conversation about how cops are bad, but then it's like the movie is also, it's just kind of like it's the same. It's the same thing that most Americans or most like liberals already kind of believe, where it's like some cops are bad. It's just like it's kind of like, and it's like that's like the conclusion that the movie's landing on, where it's like some cops are bad, and it's like there is negative things that can happen when you have bad cops.
Yeah,
it's not because like this movie's not even saying that like the corruption and the negative stuff is inevitable because of police officers, right? It's really like, oh no, this chief is like abusing the system for his own needs, like specifically. And what he's doing is against the law, and he's unprotected. I don't know. It's,
I just think that, okay, I don't want to say it's not it is still a movie about all those things. I think that the thing that he cared about most was to make a movie about this civil asset forfeiture thing, which ends up being like a kind of like the problem is more like a problem with the legal system and the fact that this is a thing that could exist and that is abused, as opposed to making a movie about corrupt cops, which it also is, because those two things go hand in hand. But I think if he wanted to make the movie about corrupt cops, then the movie would have been what you're describing, a 90-minute action thriller, as opposed to 90 minutes of conversations and 20 minutes of action at the end of it. Like,
also, but then a lot of the conversations are just like, there's something up here. A lot of the conversations are also, it's just like, man, these cops are bad. There's something fishy's going on. That's like half of the conversations that the characters have.
But that's what I said at the very beginning of the pod, was like, yeah, the movie's a little bit long because at some point in there, they kind of get repetitive. Like they kind of repeat things that we already know, and they probably could have gotten there faster. But I don't know. I liked that stuff more than really the action for me. Like, and then it gets repetitive, and then I'm like, okay, well now I want the action. But if you cut out like whatever 20 minutes in the middle there where like Anna Sophia Robb is just telling Aaron Pierre stuff that he already knows, then I think it's like a movie that really works. And I really don't know. That was my challenge, was like, I watched the end of the movie and I was like, oh, this is kind of just a movie about how not all cops are bad. But then when I really like read what Jeremy Saulnier said, I was like, oh, it just kind of seems like he wanted to make a legal thriller where like cops are still involved, which is like, but then that automatically makes it a movie about cops, is the problem. It's tough because you can't make the movie about one thing without including like, you can't make a movie about the problems with our legal system without including the people who enforce it, So it's like, it's going to be a movie about cops regardless. And yeah, maybe he could have fucking killed some cops. Maybe he could have,
it would have been cooler if he killed some cops.
Question.
You can't deny it.
What is your response to the movie if the same two cop characters, the kind of like guy who's like kind of a good guy, and then the woman who saves the day, they do all the same things, but on the way there, Aaron Pierre murders some guys? Is it the same movie, or is it a different? Would you be thinking about it as much if about what the cops do at the end if
Same movie.
You didn't think so much about the cops being safe the whole time.
It's a little cooler. That's just like, well, that's just one part of it. You know, that's just one part of it though.
I'm just saying,
the movie's boring.
it's like
that's like biggest crime.
That's
is that the
fine.
movie's boring.
I just think it like calls attention to it. Like I think at one point you realize like, oh, this guy's not hurting any of them, and then like you realize like you get to the kind of like hero cop stuff at the end, and you're like, oh, they're hero cops, and also none of them got murdered. And in my head, I'm like, maybe that would be justified more if some people died along the way. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a quarter of a movie.
Really don't think it is. I think it's a pretty like thought out.
No, it's thought out and narratively.
Okay.
But it is so paint by numbers. It is so it's like this movie's Netflix slop. Is that weird to say? This movie's it's Netflix slop.
It's Netflix slop.
It's Netflix slop.
Okay.
It's narrative junk.
I think not even just narrative junk. It's just like it's about an idea, right? For kind of like a very broad audience to watch and go like, wow, this is about some big ideas to get that kind of reaction. And then it's like super safe in every other possible way. You know, it's paint by numbers. Like it looks like there's no chances
every way.
There's no chances or risks taken in any part of this movie. We sound like assholes right now, bro. We sound like assholes.
Yeah, I mean, Doug's been on a Seder shit for weeks, dude. Doug's last like 14 pods. Every single movie that he's logged has just been like 2 stars. Looks ugly as shit. That's every review. Every review is like looks ugly as shit.
This is the contemporary cinema, Kevin.
Yeah.
What do you want me to lie?
This is a good example of like the modern movie.
Sure.
Listen, I love some of them.
I just meant you're on your hater shit recently.
The First Omen, brother. That movie's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's like 8 months ago. It has
like there's some good movies.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I find it all interesting. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. I even like the action. I'll say. I thought it was cool. I thought the hand-to-hand combat stuff was cool. I enjoyed it.
When that was the best thing in the movie. I want to say when they reveal that he was like a jujitsu marine trainer or whatever.
Like the Wikipedia page thing, and then he just fucking grabs him and tackles him. I mean, that was cool as shit.
I was like, this is gonna turn into a kung fu movie. I was like, I'm like gonna lose my shit. It doesn't turn into a kung fu movie, but that scene was cool.
Yeah,
I mean, the kung fu movie version of this lives in a different reality. I mean, that's like a completely
that's a big chance he's taking.
It's a completely different movie world. You're asking him to reconstruct the entirety of the movie.
Like fucking,
yeah.
He turns into
no, but like imagine like it removes it from reality immediately because kung fu isn't real. Well, that's a controversial statement, but but it's like imagine like they're shooting at him and he's like going and like disarming all of them with the guns and like just like he's fucking Batman. That would have been cool.
I don't know. I'm much more positive on the movie, obviously, and I think some of the stuff you say makes sense, but I think some.
I'm not mad at the politics. I was annoyed at the end when they were good cops. But
I like that he rides. I like that he rides the bicycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like.
Wait, did you guys like? No, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I like this kind of idea and this image of this bigger man physically riding a bicycle, and then it's like he's riding around.
Yeah,
that's
it's true.
Like it's very
bicycles are such
powerful.
An adolescent thing, you know.
It's not like the traditional thing would be for him just to be in a car, and you could kind of do the movie similarly, like. But I think it's a choice, and obviously the bicycle is it is the cheaper vehicle, right? He needs the money for this. He sells his car. He's on the bicycle. Yeah. That was something that stood out to me as a strong idea, is that he was riding the bicycle.
Yeah. The thing that I was going to ask you guys about that I forgot to mention, the last thing I forgot to mention, that hasn't gotten brought up yet, at least. Did you guys like at least the fun one-liners that he gets to rattle off, even if you don't like the story?
Can you name one of them?
There's like a part. There's like a part where I don't know. No, I can't like remember them off the top of my head.
No, then they're not very effective. I'll tell you.
I don't remember any of them.
No, I feel like he's just like I don't know. Like when he doesn't talk a lot, and when he does talk, he kind of like talks in movie quotes. I thought it was fun. Like he was like, there's like a part where like they ask to like meet at night, and then he tells them to like meet in the morning, and then they were
Oh
like,
wait, there is one. There is
right?
one.
Yeah,
He
they were
says,
like, why don't we just meet right now? And he's like,
no.
during
There's
the day,
one. It's some like really. There is one that I actually did like, and I don't remember it, but it was something about the night. It was something.
What I literally just said.
No, but it wasn't what you were saying. You weren't there. You didn't get it. You didn't get the line. I don't think you got there, but it was the night.
Sure
when you said the night, it reminded me of the quote, but I didn't get it all. You know, it's in there, right? But it's in there.
The way
you
talk
too.
sometimes is so confusing. Like
because it's Mr. Rebel Ridge and then Sophia Robb and
Mr. Rebel Ridge,
and there's some line about the night, and it's a good line.
Okay. Anyway. I thought they were fun.
Somebody will comment in the comments.
Anything else you guys want to say about the movie?
It's okay. You should watch it.
It would have better movie made in the 70s.
Oh, if it was in the 70s, it would have looked a lot. It would have been way cooler. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's an idea.
We should we need a time machine. We need to go back in time 50 years.
Yeah. Give this one to De Palma or something. I
don't know. Take on the pod. Movies in the 70s are better than movies that come out in 2024.
It's true.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, that's like this isn't a fucking revelation, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
know. So nothing else? You guys ready to move on?
Yeah, I guess. Do you have anything closing statements for Rebel Ridge for the audience that needs to be said?
For people who like the movie, I guess, or who are interested or who could potentially like the movie, I would say watch it. I think Aaron Pierre is awesome. I think the cast is awesome. I already said I like the hand-to-hand.
It's getting good reception, which is quite interesting.
I like the one-liners that I was talking about. I think it's fun. I think if you go in with the understanding that it is much more like corrupt legal thriller, like talky movie than action movie versus like pure action movie, and that's something that you're into, then you might enjoy it. I think
it needs a little more.
You might dislike it.
It needs a little more hair on its arms.
But sure, yeah, and apparently it needs a little more hair on its arms. We can move on. Let's talk about the New York Film Festival, which we will all three of us will be attending.
Maybe Doug will finally see a good movie.
That's true. Yeah. Do we want to okay? Well, I guess we don't have to share exact,
let's not get swatted.
But we could, let's maybe go one by one and kind of share the list of movies that we're all watching. And we can discuss how potentially excited we are for each of them, which ones we're the most excited for. That kind of deal.
Doug's seen Four Nights of a Dreamer 6 times.
Yeah, I know. I did have a little thing where I accidentally.
Yeah, Doug had a bit of a mix-up when the tickets went live. Doug had a bit of a glitch on the website.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a
where they gave him 6 tickets to one movie and he couldn't get any of his other ones.
It was very bad. That was very bad.
But the problem has been sorted. Everything. Doug is able to see all of the movies that he was planning on seeing. So you want to go first, Doug? You want to list off the movies that you're going to be watching?
Yeah, no, I'll just throw it out there. I mean, The Brutalist, Anora, and Four Nights of a Dreamer were seen together, and then I think which is an old one. And I think the only other new movies I'm seeing are the 2 Wang Bing pictures. Which, if you don't know who Wang Bing is, he's a very notable documentarian. I think he's Taiwanese or Chinese. That's God. I'm gonna
you just could just
fact check you live on the pod.
You just not mess it up. Said that
he is Chinese.
He's Chinese. Okay.
Oh, yeah, at least you got one of them. At least you didn't say 2 other completely separate things.
And then I'm gonna go see Happy End as well. Which, here's the thing, guys. I think that Kevin and Owen are gonna watch some of these movies as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of these movies. I could do my schedule. We should also say that the 3 of us, along with a bunch of our friends who are also attending the film festival, are going to see Megalopolis the night before the festival starts. So we technically kick off the festival with Megalopolis in theaters, and then we get into our festival stuff. We're also all seeing Nickel Boys, which is the opening night
Oh,
movie.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So the festival starts with Nickel Boys. And then I will be seeing The Brutalist as well. I will be seeing Anora as well. I'm going to be watching No Other Land, which is a documentary about Palestine and Israel. I will be seeing Maria, starring Angelina Jolie, Pablo Larraín movie. I'm seeing the only movie on my schedule that I'm like not that excited for, but I decided to do it anyway.
The Brutalist.
Is Emilia Perez.
Selena Gomez,
which was not even in my like kind of top 10 when I was making my schedule. Nor was it like even my 11, 12, 13, or 14. Like I had some other movies in the mix. And it's no disrespect. Like it's not like I'm not excited at all. There's just other like Doug mentioned Happy End. Like I would much rather watch Happy End than Emilia Perez. However, the reason why I landed on Emilia Perez is because when the tickets went live and I had to kind of like scramble for my last spot, I wanted my schedule to still work with the day, because for listeners who don't know, I live in New Jersey, very close to New York City, so I'm going to just be going in and out of the city on the weekends pretty much, and I wanted a movie that would still fit in my schedule without kind of like mixing things up too much, like ruining my planned schedule too much. And Emilia Perez was just kind of like there in an open slot, and I was like, we're going to talk about the Oscars in a bit, but it's possibly going to be a movie that gets nominated for Oscars. It's going to be a movie we have to talk about later. And I was like, I'll throw it on there. If it fits into the schedule and I need one last spot, I'll throw it on there. I don't want to disrespect the movie because I haven't seen it, but it's just the one that I'm a little bit less excited
they're
for.
Saying Selena Gomez. They're saying Selena Gomez is going for the
Oscar. They're saying some of the other cast members could be Oscar nominees, but Selena Gomez is probably the least likely.
They're saying everybody but Selena.
That's a conversation for later. Anyway, then after that, I'll be seeing The Seed of the Sacred Fig, which I am very excited for. I'll be seeing Oh Canada with Owen. I will be seeing Hard Truths, the new Mike Leigh movie, which is why I watched Naked that I mentioned at the beginning of the pod. I wanted to watch a Mike Leigh movie before the new one. I said I watched Naked. You can't even English your way around that.
We're getting naked at the New York Film Festival.
And then that night I will also be seeing The Shrouds, which I'm also very excited for. And then my last movie of the festival, I'm going to pop back into the city toward the end to watch All We Imagine Is Light, which I'm very excited for as well. So that's my slate as of right now. Oh, and you want to list off the movies you're seeing?
Yeah.
Bro said yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of the same.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this movie called Harvest. I don't think you guys are seeing that one.
No, we're not.
That one I'm interested in that one. That one's interesting. I
put this one on your radar because I was gonna go see it, and then you were like, "Wait, that looks good."
I'll see it with you, and then you said, "Oh man, I'm not gonna see it anymore."
Yeah.
I'm saying it with some other of our other friends though. The last Godard movie, or at least
oh, I'm so jealous.
The one that is coming out now, and this post
allegedly the last Godard movie again.
They drag up another movie. This is it's Scenarios.
We're getting two final Godard movies in like less than 3 years.
But to see this in theaters will be really interesting because with these later Godard movies, I really had only access to them at home, so I'm excited for that one. But yeah, I'm gonna see all the big ones: Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, Nora. Oh Canada, The Shrouds. They're really exciting stuff. Excited to see all those movies.
Do we want to try to shape a top 3 perhaps from each of us, or is that going to be hard for you guys to pick 3? If you're gonna pick 3 that you're the most excited, I guess for Doug maybe 2 because you're seeing a few.
Maybe Doug maybe for 1. Maybe Doug gets 1.
Yeah, like the 3 are very easy. It's like if you don't include Megalopolis, then it's just
we're counting
Anora.
Megalopolis.
Well, if you don't, I said no. I said if you don't include Megalopolis, and then you're like, oh, we're including Megalopolis. I was like, what? No, it's Anora, The Brutalist, and Nickel Boys.
Yeah,
those are like the 3 big festival movies.
I don't know what my 3 would be. It would probably be maybe The Brutalist, Anora, and No Other Land. I guess I'm very excited for No Other Land. Why did you make that face, Owen?
He's checked out, bro. He's checked out.
Anora, Oh Canada, and The Shrouds.
Are you just mad that I didn't pick Oh Canada? Or
well, I don't know. I was just a little shocked, maybe.
A little offended. A little offended.
Bro just doesn't care about.
You know that The Shrouds is directed by David Cronenberg, right?
Me? Yes, I'm aware. Yeah, I
DC.
didn't say I'm not excited for it. I said we were picking 3.
It's a new DC picture.
If I wasn't excited for it, I wouldn't have gotten a fucking ticket, dude. Damn. I still want to see it.
That'd have been crazy if he was like.
We've talked about how excited we are on the pod.
Yeah, no, The Shrouds is huge. It's gonna be huge.
Anyway,
who's winning right now with the our draft? Do you think?
Or draft? Oh,
I mean, I drafted Borderlands. So
yeah, you're probably fucked.
I think you drafted Borderlands.
Doug liked that movie.
Nobody drafted a movie that's going to come up in our news later that is a new release that we didn't think would be releasing. We're going to get there.
What does that mean?
No, we'll talk about it in a bit.
Can I swap one out? Because I think I drafted.
No, probably not. You got to keep Borderlands.
Yeah. You didn't you draft the Paul W.S. Anderson movie that is like it's just
that
radio
one is
silence.
That
shit was supposed to come out this month, bro. That shit was supposed to come out this month, and there's like not a poster. There's not even a Variety first.
That movie might never come out.
Yeah, that movie might never come out, bro.
Yeah,
I hope it comes out.
Probably. I don't think I think I drafted all movies that are coming out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you drafted bad movies, so it doesn't really matter.
I think
I Borderlands, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, yeah, I mean, I got fucking Alien Romulus, so it's like
even worse.
At least, yeah. If we're going between the 3, I mean, I got Gladiator too. That'll be good. Maybe.
Yeah, no, Gladiator 2. I like Ridley Scott movies.
I got Megalopolis.
I'm not sure how many of the movies from our festival lineup are ones that we drafted, if any. I mean, Anora got
I have Anora, right?
Queer's playing at the New York Film Festival.
Queer is playing.
It'd be cool if one of us went to go see it, but
yeah, I mean, I want to go see it, but I would have to pay an extra $85, and I don't know if I'm going to do that yet.
That to Kevin.
But yes, if you'd like to Venmo me, my Venmo is but if I can't afford to go see Queer, I think I'm gonna try to squeeze it in because that would be really cool. The problem is there are like 3 movies that I really want to go see that are all $85, and I'd have to pick one of them. But I'd probably lean in the direction of Queer.
Bro, if you went to go see Blitz over Queer,
no, I wouldn't pick Blitz over it.
If it was playing,
I wouldn't pick Blitz over it, but I would be torn between that and The Room Next Door. I do.
Okay,
really
that's more reasonable. I thought you were talking about Blitz, and I was like, I would.
No, Blitz would be the third. That would be like
if
Blitz would be like if I had the money left over, like if I could get the first 2 and still do Blitz. Which but I'm obviously more excited for Blitz.
It's fucking
and also the way you're talking about Blitz is like kind of disrespectful to Steve McQueen. I feel like you're like
we're talking about it's Luca Guadagnino making a
no, I know, but like you're talking about Blitz like it's a fucking like it's not made by a real guy. It's made by a real guy. Like also have you even seen a Steve McQueen movie?
What did he do? He did Shame.
He did Shame, 12 Years a Slave, Widows,
he did Cars,
Conjure.
Right?
You know what?
Small Axe series.
What's his name? Armand White thinks about 12 Years a Slave.
I don't know what Armand White thinks about 12 Years a Slave, dude.
He got kicked out of the fucking New York like the New York Critics Circle for what he thought about 12 Years a Slave, dude.
Yeah, got his Letterboxd review removed.
Anyway, that's our little like schedules. That's our New York Film Festival plan. Plus, we're gonna be hanging out.
Oh yeah, we might not see an episode for another month.
Yeah, I don't know about a month. No, I think we're gonna take a week off, and that's probably it.
We probably have to take a week off.
Yes, I think by the following week when Owen returns home, and
maybe we do a Sunday episode.
Yeah, we might have to do a Sunday recording, but I think we might be doing a little bit of a joint. And I don't know. Just hear me out here. We might have to be doing a joint Megalopolis Joker Folia Do pod. Which would be
no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. No, Megalopolis is getting its own podcast episode.
So what are we gonna do with Joker? We're just gonna pretend Joker didn't come out?
We can do it. We can do a 20-minute Joker review, just me and you, on Twitter. We can do a Twitter live stream, and we'll review Joker.
Anyway, yeah, we're probably only going to be, there's probably only going to be a week that we take off for the film festival.
But I was thinking like the Megalopolis episode isn't going to be 6 hours long also.
No, sure, but like we can't just, but we're going to do it the following week, and the following week Joker Folie à Deux comes out, and we're not just going to not talk about Joker 2. Like we have to talk about, I guess we could push it to the week after.
Yeah, what's the week after?
Live on the pod. Let's see.
I don't know. I don't know what the week after is. I haven't gone that far, but I'll pull it up right now if you really need me to. We could do podcast planning live on the episode. The week after, the week after would be let's see. Wait.
And everyone can vote down in the
Joker
comments.
week? Oh no, Joker is. Whoa, wait, I'm getting lost in movies here. When does Joker comes out? Oh, okay. So the week after looks like it's going to be a collection of possibly.
When did Owen put on sunglasses?
When the sun fucking came out.
It seems like 3 or 4 movies.
Blinding me in here.
I could be wrong.
4 movies. Can you name them?
I could be wrong, but it seems like the week after is The Apprentice, Saturday Night, Terrifier 3, and We Live in Time.
All right, Terrifier 3 and Joker it is.
Fantastic movie.
That'll be an episode.
We might just have to do 2 episodes that week.
We might have to. We might have to. Well, this is stuff for later. But anyway, that's just some housekeeping stuff for the listeners. That's New York Film Festival. That's our plan. Let's talk about some Oscars or some potential Oscars and some
Who's winning Best Picture? Call it right now.
Well, we're gonna get there.
Just go call it right now. Call it. Who's winning Best Picture? You can only say one movie. You can't say any other names right now.
It's so bright. Look at my hand.
Oh, and this goes for you too.
Look at my hand.
I see it's bright.
I'm gonna say
fucking melting.
Listen, I wanna make a bold pick, but I'll make a safe pick and just say Anora.
Anora.
Just so that my prediction has a chance of being right. I was gonna make a bold pick and say The Brutalist, but I'll say Anora.
The Brutalist might not get nominated, but Owen, what are Owen? What's winning Best Picture?
Sing Sing. Okay.
Sing Sing. Dune Part 2.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that actually is a good transition into what the first thing I wanted to talk about was, because we're gonna talk about like
Cleopatra
potential stuff, but I wanted to talk first about the slate of movies that have already come out. I think Owen is leaving because of the Oscar segment. I think Owen doesn't want to be involved.
Yeah, no. Let's just keep it rolling. He'll come back.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the slate of movies that have already released that have Oscar potential, which seems like a pretty short list. So I'm just gonna rattle off a very short handful of movies here that have already come out, and you let me know if you think they will or have a chance at a Best Picture nomination. Okay, this is all we have. Dune Part 2.
Lock it in.
Yes, lock it in. Will be nominated. Okay.
Yeah.
Challengers.
Oh, so listeners don't know this. I have a bet
for $250.
Yeah, I have a bet that when Challengers came out, I was so off the high, and I was like, "Oh, this movie's so good! This movie's so good!" And I was like, I made a bet with Devin, who was our guest for the Rebel Moon episode,
not Rebel Ridge, Rebel Moon.
Yes, the Rebel Moon episode, and that is okay, Owen. And I bet I was like, Challengers is going to win Best Picture, and we made a bet. So I have money on the line that Challengers will win Best Picture.
Win, not even nominated. Win.
Yeah, it was a dumb bet.
You're fucked, dude.
I know.
You're
I know.
Fucked.
I'm gonna say it. I think Challengers probably won't be nominated.
Yeah, I think it's.
Damn, how is it gonna win if it doesn't get nominated?
Where did you go?
Third movie here, Furiosa.
Not gonna get nominated.
Mad Max was nominated for like 13 Oscars or something.
Yeah, well, Tom Hardy.
What?
He's in that movie.
Is that a no from you then, Doug? Or you think it'll be nominated?
I think it's like a. Can I say maybe, or does it?
No, yeah, maybes are allowed. I mean, this is
all
these movies are pretty much we're all just speculating. I don't think Furiosa is a favorite to get a nomination, but you could throw a maybe out there.
Furiosa for Best Picture, maybe.
No,
I would say just a flat out no from my perspective, but I don't know.
It's Australia.
Yeah. And then the last movie of movies that have already come out is a movie that's already come out that none of us have seen, but technically it had that weird limited run where it played scattered all over the place, and it's a movie you mentioned already, Sing Sing.
Oh
Probably
yeah.
a
I
lock.
Oh,
mean,
none of us
Probably
have
a lock
Sing
for-
Sing.
I
No,
have
none of us
not
have seen. I mean, it didn't play near
sung
me. It
song.
didn't. They did like the worst release ever for Sing Sing, where they
It
like
did
released it
play
in
near
very
me.
limited theaters, and then they
Yeah.
expanded, but then like decreased at the same time, and then it was a really weird. It like never really had a proper release. I don't know.
Is it online?
I didn't get a. I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna watch it when I'm like catching up.
I don't think it's
on stuff,
online.
obviously, but I am kind of bummed that the release was the way it was, because it's actually a movie that I'm excited for, unlike you two.
But yeah, lock in Sing Sing.
I said
like,
it was gonna win Best Picture.
Yeah, lock in.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're
that's
excited for it. You don't want it. You literally don't. If you could have seen it and you didn't, because you
yeah,
don't
I'm not
wanna
excited
watch
for it either. Because I could have seen it and I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
It's
for
probably good. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited to finally get around to that one.
Yeah,
I would say it's a lock
I'm gonna
for a
see
Best
it like
Picture
I saw
nomination.
Anatomy of a Fall.
But that's essentially pretty much the list of movies that have come out already that have a chance. The only other like maybe bubble movie in like some wild turn of events would be I Saw the TV Glow.
Oh, that would be crazy. No. That would be insane.
Yeah, it's
especially because it's an A24
it.
movie, and A24 already has their movie that they're gonna
slate.
Push.
Yeah, they already have the
They're
movies.
not
Well,
gonna
they have
push.
more than one movie that like could get
Yeah.
nominated already.
And
So-
it's not TV Glow, so that
Yeah, it's
means
not
it's
So
TV.
now I want to move on to the odds for Owen does not. Okay. I want to move on. So I'm gonna read you guys the movies currently according to Gold Derby. This is combined odds for Best Picture nominations. I'm gonna read you the top 10. So obviously
in order. Wait, are you going from?
Yeah, I'm gonna go from 1 to 10. But that's less important right now. These are the movies with the 10 best odds, and I want you to play a little bit of like or collectively play a little bit of like similar to in sports when you do a start bench cut. We're gonna do like 5 movies that we think are locks to get nominations, and then 5 movies that we think could fall out of the running between.
That's
the
not
10.
start bench. That's 5.
Okay. Oh,
okay,
and just play the game.
How many can I start?
5.
Oh, I start 5.
We're collectively picking. We're collectively agreeing
many-
upon the 5 movies that we think are locks, and the 5
How many
movies
do I
that we think
bench?
might fall out of the. Are you?
You what?
Start 5, bench 0, cut 5. Got it?
Okay.
So it's just a start cut.
Okay.
Yes, whatever. We've got 10 movies
Sorry, these rays of
in
sun
order.
are
Best
giving
odds.
me
We've got
brain damage.
Anora, Conclave, Sing Sing, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Blitz, Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, Gladiator 2, and A Complete Unknown.
So this is tough because a lot of these movies haven't even played at festivals
Okay,
yet. Like,
Conclave
nobody's seen
is
them.
getting cut.
Enclave is getting cut, you think? I think that's should be one of our locks, maybe, but I don't know. I think okay. We could agree Anora and Sing Sing are
cutting
locks,
that
right?
shit.
And I think Dune Part 2 is probably a lock.
Is a lock too, probably.
Okay. Because it's gonna get like 6 nominations in all the technical categories. There's no way they don't give it a bet. Yeah. So Dune Part 2, Anora, Conclave, we've agreed are locks. Or no, Anora and Sing Sing. Sorry, not Conclave. Dune Part 2, Anora and Sing Sing are 3 of our locks.
Anora, Sing Sing.
Which means we could only lock in 2 more movies.
Okay.
And our remaining options are Conclave, Amelia Perez, Blitz, Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, Gladiator 2, and A Complete Unknown.
Nickel Boys, lock that shit in.
I think so as well.
I like hard lock the Nickel Boys.
I don't know about hard lock though.
Yeah, I wouldn't hard lock.
I'm worried about how people are gonna respond to like when more people
sounds so
see it.
formally interesting. Is it gonna be too interesting for
That's
the
what
Oscars?
I mean. Yes, I mean that's what I'm saying. I'm worried about how people will respond when more people see it. But would we lock in like Blitz maybe? I don't know. The problem is nobody has seen Blitz.
That's the thing. I think Blitz has already kind of been forgotten about.
Yeah, it's not going to.
What about Amelia Perez as a lock?
Oh, it's a Netflix movie. It's a Netflix movie.
It's gonna get like.
But Netflix also has Maria.
Yes, but Maria's not even in this top 10 right now.
I know.
But we're gonna talk about Maria in a bit, probably. Actually, I don't even know if I included Maria on the long list. Maria might just be out of the running completely.
Yeah,
but
I mean, popular films don't get nominated.
As it should.
Hey.
What if we locked in The Brutalist?
Netflix flop.
The buzz is high. The people are gonna like it. It seems, even though it's long.
I think it
being long is literally the only thing, and it's like the Oscars have nominated long movies before.
I think the release might be hard for The Brutalist. Because we're already entering Oscar season when all the Oscar movies come out. There's no like a release for the movie outside of festivals is not on the horizon. I just
my
don't
problem
think
is that if we were gonna be confident about 5 locks after those 3 that we named, this is all really up in the air.
Yeah, I feel the most confident out of the ones left.
I think the buzz.
I feel the most confident about Nickel Boys out of the ones left, to be honest.
I feel pretty confident about Conclave, but I don't know.
Conclave. So here's the thing.
I don't think my problem is that Conclave might release wide and people are it's going to be like just mixed. But like you're talking about a guy like the director who just made All Quiet on the Western Front that like was an Oscar movie. And it's gonna have acting nominations. It's gonna probably get some, like cinematography, whatever. Like it'll be in some of those.
What a joke!
I just think it has.
Who said what a joke?
I just think it has a good chance, is all. But I'm worried that the reception might lean towards mixed.
I think
it's all arbitrary.
I don't mind Conclave. I don't mind The Brutalist either.
You apparently mind it.
No,
we probably we probably would not by any means lock Gladiator 2 or A Complete Unknown, right?
I would bet against Gladiator 2.
I think A Complete Unknown has a chance.
I think A Complete Unknown could be a riser. I think, but I don't know if
the issue is it does come out. I don't know. Our December movie is like rough. I don't. Because it's coming out.
No, December could be good. No, December could be good for the movies that usually struggle are like those like limited release window movies where they come out too late. Like they come out in like they get like some small release at the end of December and then they really don't come out until January and then it's like too late for them.
Because A Complete Unknown is going to be a big movie Oscar season because it's going to be Timothée Chalamet Oscar push.
Actually,
I think A Complete Unknown could. I think when people see Timothée Chalamet, it might scare the voter.
It's Bob Dylan. Timothée Chalamet's the biggest actor. He's going to.
Oscars love biopics.
I think if A Complete Unknown is like movie. If the broader public likes this movie, including like critics and stuff, like A Complete Unknown, I think it might elevate my fucking Dune.
Would Dune Part 2 work against it?
No, I think A Complete Unknown would I think they would elevate each other. If A Complete Unknown does well, I think it elevates Dune Part 2.
It's a Chalamet fucking winner.
Yeah.
Because it's like
perspective.
Yeah.
But like would you be more confident locking it in over say Nickel Boys and The Brutalist as a pair? Or like cutting one of those out? Or cutting out Emilio Perez?
One of them has to get cut out. I do think
so Blitz we're cutting out.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2 we're cutting out.
Yes.
So now we're down to we have 2 spots for Conclave, Emilio Perez, Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, and A Complete Unknown.
Have people seen Emilio Perez?
Yes.
Do they? Yeah. What's the word on the street? I don't even know.
The word on the street is it's not like super negative. It's like but there's a lot of people I follow gave it pretty mixed reviews. But
how do you spell it? Never mind.
But in general, it has a 3.7 on Letterboxd currently. It the reviews are kind of mixed, but but also like that stuff doesn't always matter to the Oscars. I mean, like a lot of those mixed review movies, if they just like appeal to a certain thing that the Oscars care about, biopics or something like Don't Look Up, which is like overtly political stuff that the Oscars love. Actually, the mixed reviews don't always matter.
I think the locks should be A Complete Unknown and Nickel Boys.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe the third. I think maybe instead of Nickel Boys, you could say The Brutalist. But again,
I don't think anything else should really be.
My only thing with The Brutalist is like I think the release might be rough.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like A24 has. It doesn't seem like A24 has any plans to release it wide this year.
Okay, so we would lock in as locks for Best Picture nominees. This is just a prediction, obviously, but locks would be Anora, Sing Sing, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, and A Complete Unknown.
Unless you like really disagree, I think that's the list.
I'm just like a little bit sketchy about A Complete Unknown, but I definitely see like
Elvis.
What you guys are going for. Yeah,
Elvis almost won
Best Picture. Elvis.
No, I see what you guys are going for. I'm like I don't know. I'm a little bit. I just feel like I'm not counting it out for a nomination. I just think some of these movies might have like more, you know, like I just feel like a Conclave or an Emilio Perez might have more like of a chance.
Those could both totally get nominated. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
they probably will.
But no, we
only have to pick 5 that we're like super confident in, though. You know?
Yeah, that's what I mean, and that's all I'm saying is like I think like a Conclave or an Emilio Perez might just have a bit better odds, even if a Complete Unknown still gets a nomination.
I think you might.
But if we want to pick a Complete Unknown, then fuck it, let's have fun. Yeah, Anora, Sing Sing, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, and a Complete Unknown will be our 5 Oscar locks.
Sweep.
Okay, and then finally, just outside of these top 10 odds, I have a whole list of movies that are, you know, essentially bubble movies, sleeper picks, whatever. The sleeper varies. Some of these are like very possibly getting in. Some of these have almost no chance. But we could talk about all of them really quickly and just kind of decide, I guess, if we think they have a chance or not. So starting with first bubble movie, Saturday Night. Do we think it has a chance at a Best Picture nomination?
Well,
I think it's according to the odds, it's the first movie on the bubble. It's number 11.
When you bring up like Don't Look Up and stuff, like ridiculous.
Yes, exactly. I mean, these are like the kinds of things that the Oscars love.
It'd be like one of those things where like it's like this is obviously like the worst movie on this list, but like it's just an Oscar thing that would have like that. Just
a movie starring Rachel Sennett is going to be nominated for Best Picture.
The older voting base.
No, a movie starring
fucking. Think about all of the old voters who are going to fucking eat up a movie about the opening night of SNL. Like this is like their demographic. Like it's like perfect. You know what I mean? They were there for that shit, dude. They watched that shit live. Like they're gonna love that, dude.
Maybe I haven't seen the movie, so you know. I mean, none of us have.
I would not say. I would not give it a no. I would not give it a no. I think it has a chance.
It does in a weird way. It does have a chance. Yeah.
All of these we're just debating if they have a chance or not. And I think Saturday Night has a chance.
It doesn't matter if it's a good movie or not.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's the annoying part of talking about the Oscars.
But the guy is gonna play Jim Henson.
Are you guys familiar with this next movie at all? The Piano Lesson.
Yes, yeah, I am.
It's the Malcolm Washington movie starring John David Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Daniel Deadwyler. I think this movie actually could. I'm not even gonna. We could have knocked out something like a Complete Unknown and debated this as like a lock. I think this is gonna rise like very quickly when people see it.
It seems like a movie that would slide right in. There's just the problem is there's only so many.
Because I think Daniel Deadwyler is like a lock for a Best Actress nomination or Best Supporting Actress, whatever, because they already feel bad for wronging her when she was the star of Till. And so now they're gonna like definitely give her one, and then you know they might also nominate Samuel L. Jackson, like 2 acting awards plus whatever else it could scoop up. I think there's something there. I think it has a pretty good shot.
What was that movie last year?
What do you mean? Like it's comparison last year?
No. Well, there was that movie. I think it starred the guy that's starring in Sing Sing, Dominic. What's his name?
Oh, you mean Rustin? Are you talking about Rustin?
Rustin. Was Rustin nominated for Best Picture?
Colman Domingo? No,
Colman
Rustin
Domingo.
Was not
Thank
nominated,
you. No. Not Dominic Domingo.
Dominic Domingo sounds like a sick power forward.
Yeah. So but Rustin wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
No, Rustin was not nominated. No.
Dominic Domingo.
That is a good. No, that's a good.
Or maybe he's like a left fielder.
Rustin was another one of those like mixed review movies. I feel like the Piano Lesson might be leaning much more positive.
Yeah,
critics.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it has a good chance. I would say it's a maybe for sure. A Real Pain. The Jesse Eisenberg movie.
Oh no! Nope.
No Eisenbergs. No fucking.
I'm gonna say no to this
Spielbergs.
Well. But people are liking it. But I don't think
not this year. Not this year.
Yeah. The Room Next Door. Does it have a chance?
It has a chance.
Everything has a chance today.
It's also I think this has a pretty good chance.
I don't know about pretty good because the reception.
Yeah, maybe pretty fine.
But it's
I think the reception was more mixed than I expected. That's the problem.
It's Almodovar's first English language feature, which is going to be a really big deal for awards. I think people
are like, hey, we can finally watch this guy's movies.
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah.
It might be like a giving him his flowers kind of moment. Maybe.
Sure,
we'll see though.
But that could be in like that could be in a different
wait
category.
another 10 years.
Right, that could be in a different category. Yeah, like they might nominate him for best director or something.
Sure,
yeah.
They won't.
What do we think about the odds for Joker Folie à Deux?
Oh, no, 0. Sir, I read
it's getting way worse reception than the first one.
Yeah,
I read some leaks. About like the plot of the film. The shit.
Not sounding good. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest. This movie might be.
Fuck you, Joaquin Phoenix.
This might be the flop of the year. Like, not money wise, but like this might be the movie where like people are just like, "What the fuck happened?"
The people that really like the awards body that were like, "Oh, Joker," it's like they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna fuck with this.
Like, there might even be a world in which, like, because we've already probably gotten to the point where we're in agreement that Joaquin is.
It's more likely the people's Joker gets nominated.
But like a big buzz was like Lady Gaga getting nominated, and that might not even happen anymore. The way people are talking about this movie.
Well, that's probably going to be the only thing that happens if anything happens with this movie in awards.
The only thing that's going to happen is Brendan Gleeson.
The next movie, and I know you guys are going to say no. I know you guys are going to say no immediately, but it's rising in the odds.
I'm rising.
It's rising. We're a riser.
Wicked.
Maybe. Sure.
I think if Wicked is like a big commercial success, you can't count it out.
Yeah, no, and if people like it, sure.
I mean, what's the Ariana Grande? Maybe a little.
Are you gonna try to like do an Ariana Grande lyric right now? Or are you trying to like?
No, I was just
that's that me espresso.
I don't think that's her.
The Seat of the Sacred Fig,
Ariana Grande, or maybe we get a Razzie.
Well, I guess maybe I don't know.
I think The Seat of the Sacred Fig is a movie that you cannot count out because
for best
specifically, yes, because the Oscars are not moving into the future with 10 Best Picture nominees that are all in English.
Right. You're right.
And this is the first movie on the list in terms of odds that is not in English. So I think that's
that's a chance.
Has to be a movie we consider.
Yeah, you're right.
You're seeing this one, right, Kevin?
Yes, I am seeing this one, and I'm
I've heard good things.
It
really looks cool. Good. It looks good.
And yeah, if it's going to be an international feature like nominee and or winner,
it'll.
The Oscars voting body is not going to let it be 10 American movies.
Yeah, I think it will probably
for English
in.
movies.
Yeah,
I think it has a good shot. What about Hard Truths, the Mike Leigh movie?
No.
Really? I think there's. I wouldn't count it out.
There's a chance.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count this one out. There's a chance, but when I'm fucking grabbing the 10 bagels that I gotta get, it's
You think it's just a complete no? You think there's just no hope?
There's like too much unrecognizable.
He's quite respected.
On that bagel.
What about this, Owen? Conclave or Hard Truths?
Conclave.
I mean, it's hard to compare the movie that has the second best odds currently to the movie that has like the 19th.
Yeah, man. The burger.
Well, we didn't pick Conclave in one of our 5.
No, I know, but that's because of you guys. I was nudging in that direction, and you guys aren't confident in it.
Hey, quit nudging.
But it literally, I mean, it has like very high odds. But I do think Conclave could drop when it.
Oh yeah, when it fucking stinks.
Yeah. Night Bitch.
No.
Yeah, I'm thinking no.
No. I think it was like fine, right? And people were like, "Oh, maybe." And then
no, some people are really liking it, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I think this is like a real Best Actress and nothing else type of movie.
Some people eat gravy with grapes.
Okay. What the fuck? I think this is right. Would you agree, Doug? It's like a movie where it gets a Best Actress nomination and nothing else. That seems like the vibe.
It's a movie that gets
probably
a Golden Globe.
A Golden Globe. Yeah, actually, it does seem like a Golden Globe movie.
The Golden Globe. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Night Bitch seems like such a bad movie, and there's some people that are gonna love that are watching this.
Bad,
oh no, it's gonna be the most insufferable fucking girl on Twitter is gonna love this movie.
Oh, you don't have to be sexist. You don't have to be a little bit of a misogynist here.
Sorry. What about our boys? What about our boys who love Night Bitches? What's up with that?
Shout out to all our Night Bitches.
Okay.
It sounded like I was saying that in response.
We gotta cut this pod out.
Queer the movie. do we think
there's a chance. There's a chance.
It's not. There's a chance as well.
It's not a very good chance, but there's a chance.
I think there's a chance as well, but yeah,
here's the thing. An A24 movie is getting nominated for Best Picture.
Mukti Prom get nominated 3 times for
cinematographer? I just think like a Luca movie, like counting it, it's kind of crazy with how much love he's gotten recently for them to.
You know what? A Complete Unknown will help queer.
Okay.
How?
Can you do the math on that for us?
Well, so you add, and then you divide,
and then you carry the
yeah.
What about the divisive one here? The Substance.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, I think it is too much as well. I don't think it's Oscar.
Teton couldn't get nominated, and that won the Palme d'Or.
I don't think it's Oscars type stuff. Here's an interesting one: Nosferatu.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
You know why? You know why? Because they what is it? Warner Brothers or Universal? It's Universal, right?
I think it's Universal, but
whatever. The studio,
right now.
The studio's not even treating it like it's an awards movie. They're treating it like it's
the genre Wolfman.
Yeah, they're treating it like it's a genre blockbuster. There's like no chance. There's no shot. There's no way.
Right. We Live in Time.
Best actress though.
Did you say We Live in Time?
Yeah, We Live in Time with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield.
No. Are people so how serious are people taking this movie? I don't really know too much about it. It looks bad. It looks like slop garbage from the poster. But people are acting like it's La La Land.
That's the Kevin 4.5 you're talking about, man.
Yeah, that is a Kevin 4.5.
I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. I was just talking about the poster.
No, but there's reports. I didn't include it in the news, but apparently Andrew Garfield said something about how like the camera operator had to stop because he was crying so hard while they were filming. So that's fun. Yeah. That's like a me-ass movie. It's a fucking cancer movie. I don't know. It's one of the weirdest subgenres.
Maybe they should get a fucking better camera operator.
No, but yeah, people are liking it. It has a 3.8 on Letterboxd currently. Obviously
with 500 ratings,
but yeah, but that's that's every one of the movies we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. John Crowley made Brooklyn, which was like a respected movie by awards bodies. I don't know if that means this has a shot though.
Woody Allen made Manhattan.
I think we'd probably That's what? We need to there needs to be a way where we can remove Owen from the call during Oscar segments and then just immediately pull him back in when the Oscar segments are over. But we'll figure that out.
But they never end.
We only have a couple movies left, so hopefully Owen could be normal. All We Imagine Is Light.
I don't know
what is that.
That is one of the other it's the one I said I am seeing at the end of the festival. It's the last movie I'm seeing at the end of the festival. It's the Payal Kapadia movie.
Yes or no?
Oh, right. No. Yes, I know what this is.
No, this is an actual movie that people are speaking very highly of. That is probably going to be a Best International Feature nominee.
Yeah. Maybe.
Best Picture nominee though, I would probably lean towards maybe. But like I said before about including an international movie, it's either this or The Seed of the Sacred Fig as far as the odds go right now. And I think you can't put it past them to include them. So
yeah, totally.
I mean, Apprentice? David Elric thought this movie was going to win the Palme.
Conclave international though?
Sure.
The Apprentice? No, there's zero chance The Apprentice gets nominated.
I just meant I included The Apprentice as kind of like what we were talking about before. Don't look
will
up.
Will it get an Oscar? Will it get a Razzie?
Yeah, no, but as a don't look up situation, hated by us and most people we know, but
the Trump
a political movie about
Best
Donald
Picture
Trump
would be so crazy.
An election year as well.
Totally.
I mean, there's narrative there for the types of people who vote on these things to include something like The Apprentice, which is a movie that is going to be very mean towards Donald Trump in the same year that he either will or will not be winning an election.
What if Matt Johnson made The Apprentice?
It'd probably be good. It might still be good. I don't know. I haven't fucking seen it, but
it looks like The Office.
Yeah.
It's a weird comedy.
You know what I will say? When I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, so it is gonna suck. However, I'm a little bit excited to watch Jeremy Strong. He seems like he's having fun. He seems like he's doing good. I like him. I don't know. As for like Best Picture nominee though, I'd probably lean no. But
no, I'm leaning. I'm laying on no. Not even leaning on it.
Oh, he's sitting on it.
2 movies left. 1, Baby Girl.
No.
Maybe.
Straight up. It's a maybe. I think it's a maybe.
I think
it's like a crowd play. It's like a genuine, like, people are like having the time of their lives watching it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, they had the time of their lives watching fucking Fall Guy.
Sure. Actually, funny enough, I went to the dentist today, and the she asked me about the Fall Guy. When we were
what
talking
did she
about.
Ask?
Well, we were talking about
like,
movies.
Hey, you
no.
Did you write the Fall Guy?
The dental assistant was talking to me about like movies.
You
or
should
whatever,
write the Fall Guy.
And I mentioned like Trap, and then she was
like, oh, that sucked.
No. She didn't see it, but then she asked. But then she was like, I mentioned Trap, and she was like, "Is that the one with like the action stuntman?" And I was like, "That's the Fall Guy." And she, so she, yeah.
Oh,
so
she thought
she doesn't like. No, well, she doesn't.
She see it?
She's not watching.
Did she see the Fall Guy and then think it was called Trap, or did she not?
No,
see
I don't think she saw
either.
I think she just knows about both of
that
them.
Makes more
sense.
sense.
She's watching.
Because it'd be funny if
you did say she saw Beetlejuice with her kid,
and then big fan.
Liked it. Yeah.
Big fan.
Well, no, she didn't like it. Her child did.
Her like 5-year-old daughter.
No, she, probably older child, teenager. I'd assume. I don't know. Anyway, this is like off topic.
But she didn't like it.
No, she wasn't like the biggest fan. She said it was weird, but like she didn't hate it. She
said it was weird, like in the way that like she liked
in the way that Beetlejuice is weird.
She liked the original, or she didn't like the original, or she wasn't familiar with the original. How familiar?
She has seen the original. She has seen the original.
Did she think that was weird?
She said she liked it. I don't know, dude.
So
it wasn't an in-depth conversation. It was my fucking dental assistant.
You're grilling him right
now. It was my fucking dental assistant.
The new Beetlejuice movie was weird in a way that the original was not.
Baby Girl, I think, is a maybe. And
I thought you were calling Owen Baby Girl just there. I was so confused. I was like,
our final movie that I included here,
awesome.
even though
I'm gonna clip that.
It's very low on the odds. It's very low on the odds, but I had to include it. Megalopolis.
Fuck no.
Yeah, that's a
no.
It's
but you know what?
It's
very good odds for it to be on the Looks Like a Movie Awards.
Yeah.
Those odds, they just keep going up.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly high. Okay,
bro, they posted a clip. Higher. They posted a clip. It was like a CGI Statue of Liberty. That everything was golden, and then it was like Adam Driver's face was like projected onto it, and he was like, "We needed debates. We needed debates for the problems for the
Socratic
people."
Seminar.
It was like, oh man,
that shit was awesome. He was like,
no,
he was like Donald Trump. It started like talking.
He was like Donald Trump.
Okay, we're gonna talk about some news as usual.
Adam Driver
first, I want to remind everybody to share some feedback if you like listening to Rebel Ridge and all the
his
extra
character
stuff.
from Megalopolis should be a moderator.
Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Follow us on all the platforms, on Twitter and all the other ones. Rate the
us
episode
5 stars
on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And let's talk some news. We got a lot of news. I could even throw some extra stuff in here, but I just kind of included the big ones because there's a ton. Starting with a fuck ton of Denis Villeneuve and Dune Messiah news.
Oh yeah.
Denis says, I'm just gonna read all of these at once, and we could kind of respond to them as a collection. But Denis says that Dune 3 will feature the seeds needed if someone wants to do something else afterwards, but he will not be doing it himself. He then said that Dune 3 will feature Florence Pugh and Anya Taylor-Joy's characters prominently, much like Zendaya in the second movie. And then he also said that when he was asked about the 12-year gap in the stories, he responded that that's his problem to solve and he knows how to do it. And then finally, he mentioned, as far as future projects go, that he is also working on a screenplay for a Cleopatra movie and that he's still working on an adaptation of Rendezvous with Rama, which is another sci-fi novel similar to Dune.
I've read Rendezvous with...
oh, have you? Do you like it?
Mm-hmm. It was a long time ago, like when I was in...
Do you think it's like
middle
good
school
movie adaptation material?
Yeah, it's like an Arthur C. Clarke thing. It's the kind of thing that feels like it would have gotten a movie in like the
like a long time ago.
Yeah, like a really exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how he.
So it's gonna be like a boring version of it.
It'll be a Denis Villeneuve version of something.
It'll be like bland.
That could be great.
Yeah, it could be fun.
What do you guys think about all the Dune news, though?
So another part of the Cleopatra thing, which is weird. If you don't know, more like listeners, not you guys, but like if you don't know,
I know.
They as in Hollywood at large has been trying to make a Cleopatra movie for like 30, 40 years. It's like, it is crazy. And now it seems like Denis Villeneuve is probably going to do it, which is interesting. I don't think Cleopatra is such an interesting figure.
With Zendaya in the lead is like a big thing. Zendaya will be playing Cleopatra.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Is that like confirmed?
No, it's a rumor.
Like every time it's brought up, it's like Zendaya.
That's the rumor, yeah.
Obviously, like
if
who knows, you know?
Listen, I don't know. I would just say this: if I were to make a movie based off of the life of Cleopatra, I don't think I would be casting somebody that is as ethereally beautiful as Zendaya. But that's just because I'm, annoying opinions about this. No, well, yeah, because I think because Cleopatra was an ugly white lady, in real life. So I don't know. No, what do you? It's not like damn.
Cleopatra catching strays on the podcast.
No.
Let her rest, bro.
She was like a normal whatever. She had like very Greek features, I should say.
Oh, so now you think all Greek people are ugly? Is what you're saying?
No, never mind. I don't.
Go. Do me a favor. Look up the origin of my last name. Look up where that comes from.
Well, buddy, I hate to break it to you.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, you could play Cleopatra in Doug's movie.
No, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't like. It's interesting that they're so obsessed with it because there were rumors that it was a different director was going to do a Cleopatra movie with Gal Gadot.
Oh God, that would be fucking terrible.
Yeah, which would have been so.
Yeah, I think it was Roland Emmerich.
We're gonna get to that in a second. Wait, one piece of news at a time, guys. What are you guys excited for the Florence Pugh and Anya Taylor-Joy?
Oh wait, no, wait.
What?
Sorry, I thought you were. Sorry. I thought you were skipping ahead, and I was like,
no, I'm.
Talk, say your piece.
We're talking about Dune Messiah, bro.
Well, I think the only thing I kind of am interested about the news, in this particular segment is because like a lot of this is like kind of rehash, but the idea of like, hey, I'm done after 3, but I'm going to like leave it open, and I am like totally cool with someone taking it, and like because there obviously are more books, and
yes,
it was always the kind of mindset and understanding from other people and like just people online that like, hey, Denis does not want to do the weird shit. He's going to avoid the weird shit, and they get
weirder.
Do
the first 2 books.
Yes. They get weirder.
I think there's a 12.
He said in
there's
this
a 12-year gap between the first one and the second one. I think there's like a 3,000-year gap between the second book and the third book or something crazy.
He did. Go on, Kevin?
Sorry.
No, well, I was gonna say he mentioned it in like that interview where he says like it gets weird in the next ones, and he was like it's a challenge to adapt, and but if someone wants to do it, they can.
But I
he's very clearly teeing them up.
I honestly really hope they make more Dune movies with someone else, because I think like, why not? Why not adapt those other ones? It's a bit.
It's like perfect material for someone like you, where like where Denis Dune movies are so beloved, and then when they make the follow-ups with a different director, they're going to be hated by the general public, and you're going to love them. Like, it's like they're teeing you up for like something great here.
The hope is that they give it to somebody fun, and they're allowed to kind of do a different.
Throw out a name. It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. I don't know.
It's tough. Yeah,
it is tough because honestly, we don't get what that is. Like that movie is just like that's going to be a unique thing if it's done kind of the way we're talking about it being done. I don't know. I'm just hoping. I hope it's not like a TV show. Like
that's. I have a theory. It might be a TV show.
Which they already have.
It's not the end of the world, but that would suck.
It would be the end of the world. Yeah. I think I would kill myself.
You would kill yourself.
Yeah, I'm excited for 3 though. I'm excited for Denis.
Because here's the thing, I think that Warner Brothers doesn't want to stop after 3, and I don't think they should. To be honest,
I think if they did a TV show, it would be a big failure and like a way like not capitalized. Because 3 is going to be big. 2 is obviously like we're talking about it in Oscar things. Like the Dune fucking stock has never been as high.
It will probably never be this high again.
There's I don't know. There's such a great opportunity. Warner Brothers needs fucking a win, so like it's like kind of there's layups here. Get some guy who's competent,
Wes Ball, no, he's not the guy for it. We love Wes Ball though.
He's got bigger plans. He's got bigger plans.
Bigger plans on the horizon.
He's got bigger plans than Dune 4. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it would be a smart
5.
decision. I think it would be a smart decision to continue the Dune movies post Denis. Yeah. Like they're already written. The books are already written. It's already
the
there.
thing. Also, it's like imagine if there were 6 Lord of the Rings books, right?
Yeah.
And then they were like, we're not going to make the 6th Lord of the Rings movie, or we're not going to make the 4th Lord of the Rings movie. You know, like
it's the reason we're getting another Dune movie is because this one was so big. You know, it's like if these weren't as big as they were, we wouldn't be getting Dune movies. And like Denis is giving the Warner Brothers an opportunity here to just continue it, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
But speaking of the Lord of the Rings and the previous Oscar talk we just had, that's another topic of conversation that's kind of in the air. This idea of whether we think it's possible for them to go hard awarding Dune Part 2 now because Dune Messiah might be a little bit mixed since it's weirder, or if they're going to do something like the Lord of the Rings where like he completes the trilogy and then Dune Messiah wins a bunch of fucking Oscars as like the movie to cap off Denis' trilogy.
I don't think Denis is ever going to go weird enough where it would like scare the Oscars away.
There's some really crazy stuff that happens to Dune Messiah. So unless he can't tame it that like narratively at least. I mean, he could tame down the visuals obviously because he already has.
Right.
But
that's I don't know. It's just a conversation worth having around the Oscars of like if Dune Part 2's chances are less because we think they might award Messiah at the end of it, or if its chances are more because we think Messiah doesn't have a chance.
I think that at the very least, this is Timothée Chalamet's year to win an Oscar, right? If he doesn't win an Oscar this year, it's hard to say when he will, you know, because there's not, you know.
I mean, he's like
27.
Well, no, he's really young, but it's like, but like this is a window. The window is now, right? The window, it's like you gotta go.
Now. I mean, the window could be now a bunch of times. It could be like he wins one now and then he's nominated another 12 times. You know, like
sure,
he could go down as one of the most nominated people ever, just for the fact of like he was one of the youngest nominees for Best Actor in like 80 years or some bullshit, and he's kind of continued this. Like he's 28 now. For the past 7 years, he's been nominated a few times for all these things, and he's kind of been like constantly rising. It doesn't really seem like there's going to be a stop anytime soon. Who knows? Obviously, but he's putting up a track record. And obviously have multiple movies this year that are like in Oscar conversations, and then he's going to be doing the Safdies movie and obviously another Dune movie, and
he might just be getting Oscars left and right, at least nominations. Probably not. It's harder to get multiple wins. It's like not a thing that the Oscars like to do obviously now with like all the variety, but like he
honestly nominees are more important. Nominees are more important.
I mean, if he is nominated for like 9 Oscars in the course of like 20 years.
Dave Bautista said something recently, and it was kind of like, I don't really care about the fucking trophy or to win, but like to be recognized in that group, in that kind of that talent level, and to be considered one of the best working, like that's what it's all like. That's what he wants, And
it's like funny. It's like funny because people think it's kind of like a petty thing. You know what I mean? Like where people like see someone lose and they're like, oh, they must feel like shit. And it's like, no, for a lot of people, it probably just feels good to be up there as a nominee. Like that probably rocks.
Who's the guy who was in it was in that TV show. I'm blanking on the actor's name, but he was nominated last year. And he was talking about like, you got Robert Downey Jr., you got all these guys, and like I'm just happy to be here. And like this is like it's such a great honor just to be nominated among like these like kind of titans of cinema.
I
forget the name of it.
I don't know. It was a supporting actor.
Yeah, it was in that movie with Jeffrey Wright. I'm blanking. He's a great actor. I really do like him. I'm forgetting.
Are you you're talking about fuck, the guy from This Is Us. Oh my god, I gotta get his name.
Yeah,
that guy. Oh, Andrew Scott.
No. Fuck. Why? I always know his name, and now when it comes up, Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown.
There you go. Yeah, no. So that was Sterling K. Brown was talking about that. Just like
I mean,
being
awesome.
like recognized next to like Robert Downey Jr. and like he was like Robert Downey Jr. is going to win this award.
Win,
and I know I'm not going to win, but I'm like incredibly
awesome.
grateful to be kind of And that's, for a lot of actors, that is kind of the mentality. Obviously, if you're like kind of someone like Leo, where you're like, dude, I should have won like 9 years ago.
Yeah, where you're
It's like
one of the biggest stars in Hollywood and you've lost over
yeah,
and
like
over
that's
again. That's a
different.
different
But like
conversation.
for most actors, it's like that's
Being
like
nominated
the
once is
goal.
great, is a
It's
crazy
like,
achievement. Yeah.
yeah, you can go to the grave with that one. You know.
Next piece of news is what you guys sent to that. Roland Emmerich is developing a Lawrence of Arabia remake as a 3-season prestige TV series. Anthony McCartan, writer of Bohemian Rhapsody, The Theory of Everything, and The Darkest Hour, is hoping to write the entire first season.
Is this
I don't know. Yeah,
is this the greatest headline of all time? Is this
so like the headline? The headline on Twitter was just Bohemian Rhapsody. I added these because I needed to put in context. This guy has specifically written nothing but biopics. The Bohemian Rhapsody, Theory of Everything, The Darkest Hour, like nothing but historical biopic.
Well, remaking an old movie is kind of like a biopic in many ways.
Sure, but like
also
but
this is a real like is about a real guy.
No, yeah, exactly. It's like it does have like.
No, I know, but I just meant like it's like I meant like. Okay. What I meant is like these are movies that you guys would all think are boring.
No, yeah, the movies are very good. But the craziest thing about this headline, 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is like this is gonna be. You've seen the Roland Emmerich show that's going on right now?
No, what is it?
It's I forget what it is. It's like a gladiator show. And it has Anthony Hopkins in it, and it looks like garbage.
Oh, I know exactly what show you're talking about.
It has like these really bad like CGI like green screen like fucking backgrounds, and like looks like it was made for like $10.
I've seen commercials.
Those About to Die.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I've seen commercials for it on TV.
This looks terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So like
I like Roland Emmerich movies, but that's
for
crazy.
how bad you thought the fucking thing was gonna be. After like if you look at like this like Peacock fucking Roland Emmerich show, it's like, dude.
Man, Roland Emmerich, one of the most famous queer filmmakers. Crazy.
Is that a fact?
Yeah,
no, not that part. I meant the most famous part.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean,
I guess
one of them and most famous, I don't think go together.
One of the most famous.
No, it does. It does. Yeah, no, it does. It checks out. It's kind of like when Doug gets upset about people calling something one of the best movies of the year. He hates.
Well, no, I don't hate that. I think that because like that praise.
Got him. How are you gonna get out of this one?
That praise doesn't make any sense though to me, because you're like, oh, it's one of the best movies of the year, and it's like what, like one of the 30.
Yeah, and he's just one of the most famous queer directors. What do you mean?
Yeah, and that praise doesn't make sense to me.
That's fine. I wasn't being serious about Roland Emmerich, dude. We were talking about how much his TV show sucks.
Yeah, and you were just fucking like.
This is a silly thing that's happening.
Us?
No, the Lawrence of Arabia thing.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, the news. No, the Lawrence of Arabia thing. I mean, that headline's so crazy. The craziest part of it to me, honestly, is 3 seasons.
Can we get Robert Pattinson back?
Yeah.
You could have said a good. You could have said a good
like a limited series
and a great writer, and said that 3 seasons thing still would have fucking stuck out to me like a red.
What if they're
light.
4 episodes?
That's ambitious.
Though?
Then what are we even doing?
If it's 4 episodes, you could just make it 1 season. Then.
I don't know.
People used to like it. Used to be just like normal.
Lawrence of Arabia is a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. But also, like, what's up with? I know you guys don't watch much TV, but what's up with like everybody just like only wanting short seasons of shows now, like regardless of genre? Like it used to just be fine to make like a 16 season, 20 or 16 episode, 20 episode season of a show. Now it's like you go over episodes, 10 and you're fucked, dude.
How many episodes are there in Abbott Elementary per season?
Okay, that one does have a good amount. That's like
but that's like
22. Like sitcoms will still do it, but even some half-hour comedy. I mean, The Bear is like 10 episodes a season. That's a half-hour.
How many episodes of the Mulaney show?
In 2008, The Bear would have ran for 25 episodes a season.
How many episodes of Wednesday are there?
Like 10, I think.
Oh yeah, 10 is so short for a season.
That's what I mean. Like. But it's like TV just doesn't do more than like 10 episodes. 12 is like ambitious.
13 episodes of the Mulaney show in 2014.
Okay. Anyway, next piece of news. James McAvoy reveals that Joaquin Phoenix was supposed to star in M. Night Shyamalan's Split. According to McAvoy, in typical Joaquin Phoenix fashion, he ditched it 2 weeks before shooting, very last minute, according to McAvoy.
Yeah, so I mean, I wasn't aware of this. Apparently, this was just, I mean, known information because he was
apparently
cast.
people are just uncovering all the Joaquin Phoenix news at once. It's just one after the
it's
other.
interesting. Obviously, it's getting brought up now, but
Yeah.
like apparently, like I was looking into articles and like there were articles from like when the movie was coming out, like Joaquin Phoenix cast, not cast, you know. So like he gets cast, articles come out, he's cast, and then he fucking leaves, and then McAvoy comes in. But like, I don't know how much you guys. There's really great interviews of M Night talking about McAvoy, and just kind of him being the perfect guy for this movie, and like McAvoy wanting to make a movie about the subjects tackled in this before. Like he was just like already studying this and like really interested in stuff. They talk about in Split, like wanting to make his own movie, and then he kind of falls into M Night's lap and like already kind of because it's talking about like 2 weeks before shooting, right? And then McAvoy comes in and he's like, "Oh, I've been studying this for years." So it's like it kind of was a perfect scenario for Shyamalan. But I think it is interesting that Joaquin was originally cast because we talk about M. Night having a different era, being in this different era now, where he's working with great actors, but not like the name recognition of Joaquin. And you have to think how different these past few years would have been, because Split was a big movie, right? But if Split was a big movie with Joaquin attached, you have to imagine it would be a bigger movie. And then maybe there would be a little trickle effect in these last few years. But it is an interesting kind of thing to look back on now. Kind of adding this bit of information to the kind of puzzle that is M. Night's recent years.
The movie would have been so different with Joaquin. I'm not even saying it would have. It's like it's impossible to even make the judgment that it would have been worse or better. It would just because it would have been so different. Because James McAvoy has like this like pinpoint intensity to him that he brings to that character specifically that Joaquin doesn't really have in the same way at all. So it's like it's hard to even imagine what the performance would be like.
It makes sense for like if you just like be like, if we didn't know anything about the kind of the movie that it is now, and we were just like talking about it as a base script, and especially like it being kind of this thing from Unbreakable and all that stuff, Joaquin makes sense as a cast for M. Night. They work together and they have a relationship, and he just kind of makes sense as an actor.
Joaquin's like one of the most talented actors in Hollywood. Yeah.
But when watching what McAvoy does, there's so much of it. It's like that's not what Joaquin would have done for that.
No, not at all. That's why
it's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fucking lame. Especially like this is a self-financed M. Night movie. This was like a small production.
Yeah, that's why
it's fucking ridiculous that we're leaving 2 weeks before projects. It's good for M. Night that like it came out successful. Now
as good as it did.
One of his better
commercial success.
One of his best received movies in terms of like critics and everyone seeing it from the recent eras. But yeah, dude, really fun of dick move.
Just like one shitty story after another for this guy. Just like it's like every movie. It's like leaves 5 days before, leaves a week before, leaves 2 weeks.
And it's leaves, or then it's like with the case of Napoleon or the Joker situation. It's like he wanted to leave. He was about to leave. It's like, and he's like threatening, like, "Hey, you gotta go get my buddy to rewrite this fucking movie, or I'm leaving." It's like, dude, what the fuck?
I mean, you guys remember when like what was it for Joker, or what was it where like he had like that freak out video that leaked, and then like the defense of it was kind of just that like he was in character, and like
I thought that was Michael Cera.
No, I'm thinking of the Joaquin Phoenix video.
I don't
maybe
know
I'm
about
crazy. I'm like almost maybe that was Michael Cera, but I'm almost positive there was like a video of like Joaquin Phoenix freaking out, like in character, and then like that's like people kind of just like overlooked it, and then like now looking back in retrospect, it's like, oh, maybe he was just.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, he's like a weird guy. It's like that's the.
But what we talk about Joker 2 being a big like flop and like people hating it, and then all this stuff, like I don't know, it might be a different Joaquin situation in the next like couple of years. It might be in a weird spot with him.
Yeah, no, I just double checked. Yeah, it was because what happened was fucking Jimmy Kimmel aired the video live when he had Joaquin Phoenix as a guest. He had Joaquin Phoenix as a guest, and they brought up the clip of Joaquin Phoenix yelling at the cinematographer on Joker, like getting angry and yelling at him. Jimmy Kimmel famously just like super unprofessional, super unprofessional late night host. But yeah, they used
You'll have to watch the Michael Cera one after this.
Yeah, I guess I don't. I feel like I've heard about that, but maybe I've never watched it.
Do you know about the one? The only one I know about is the Tom Cruise freak out.
Yeah, no, I was gonna.
Yes, that one we know. Yeah,
that one's legendary because he was in the right, and it's awesome.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just funny because that Joaquin Phoenix thing. I even remember myself saying like, oh, like it's like the guy was just super in character and they made up after. But then it's like, you know, now all the stuff comes out and it's like, oh no, maybe he's just awful to work with on set all the time, and it's not just this one instance. Which is, you know, I don't know. I mean, I very much like Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, but it's
great actor.
It's annoying if you're just shitty to work with everywhere you go.
One of the best actors.
It's not even. It's like
the
it's
leaving
frustrating
2
that
weeks
it's every
before
time.
is just
yeah,
really...
that's so fucked up, and it's just like
it is
because I mean, being a shitty guy on set is one thing, but when you hire a guy who's notoriously like a shitty guy on set, that's like you kind of expect to get that, and that's kind of like
I used to say that about Christian Bale, where it was
you're
like
bringing him on and you expect
to
get that baggage, but when you bring someone on and then they fucking just ditch, like that's
because that's just like unprofessional. Like that's like pushing a different limit. Like that's what I used to say. I was like, dude, like it's like you see guys like Christian Bale who you hear is like notoriously like a dick, like a little bit, like he'll talk back to the director or whatever, but it's like like from my perspective, I'm like, if I'm getting a Christian Bale performance, who gives a fuck? He could yell in my face. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? He could,
but
he could beat the shit out of me if he wants.
Well, especially like these auteur filmmakers that have more control over the production.
But if you're just like leaving projects and leaving people out of jobs,
it's like part of the understanding is like you're bringing on this guy who might be hard to work with, but it's like from their perspective, it's worth it because they're an artist and you're getting that.
Exactly. But it's different if you're just fucking them over, like out of their
That's like with Todd Haynes, especially.
It's like
Todd Haynes was like, dude.
Todd Haynes is an indie film. Yeah, like
Todd Haynes did not deserve that shit, bro.
It's like, you might be hard to work with, but we're gonna make something great. And then he's like, oh, we're not gonna make anything at all. Actually, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Whoa. It's like, what?
It's very fucked up. Next piece of news. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the movie, but Michael B. Jordan to direct and star in a new Thomas Crown Affair movie for Amazon MGM. It is a theatrical release is planned. Have you guys seen either of the Thomas Crown Affair movies?
No, that's interesting.
I've seen the original, but not the remake. I watched the original in school, and I didn't love it. It's Faye Dunaway and Steve McQueen. The acting's good. It's just like not a movie that I was that into. I'd like to rewatch it now that I know this Michael B. Jordan news.
Oh wait,
I have not seen the remake, which people. The remake is with Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wait, that's the guy from the old movie.
What?
Pierce Brosnan?
No, Pierce Brosnan is in the remake.
Yeah, the old one is Steve McQueen.
No, the old one is Steve McQueen. The old one's old. Like
the old one's from the 60s.
Oh, I thought you were saying the remake, like the remake.
Oh, the Michael B. Jordan one.
Exactly. Okay, you were confusing me because there are so many remakes.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan is starring.
Pierce Brosnan's in it again.
No, the remake is Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo in 1999.
Speaking of
first remake,
Pierce Brosnan. Did you see those Pierce Brosnan pictures of him in like the Giorgio Armani? No,
I don't like the whole like, did you see this guy's pictures thing? Because I automatically assume you're talking about like leaked news.
No, it's just him having a fucking
Pierce Brosnan meet.
No, it's just Pierce Brosnan having a fire ass fit, bro.
With like the
just
dark,
having that shit on,
fucking Dark Fate helmet on, but nothing else.
Oh, okay.
I think this could be cool though.
Yeah, no, it's
Michael
cool.
B. Jordan thing.
Michael B. Jordan continuing to direct movies.
Is cool. Is good news. Yeah,
it's like he's like the genre version of Bradley Cooper.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I want Bradley Cooper to make a movie again.
I want, bro. Yes.
I think everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah. I love.
Not
love
everybody. You cannot say that about the general public.
I was talking the other day about how much I want to rewatch A Star Is Born though. I do want to get around to that sometime soon. I feel like I like that movie more than I'm giving it credit for. Anyway, the thing that I hinted at before was that Clint Eastwood's Juror Number 2 is set to release in theaters in November, select theaters in November. So we don't know how wide the release is going to get. But when we did the draft that Doug was referencing earlier, we did not draft Juror number 2, I believe, because
I would have drafted it over fucking Borderlands.
Yeah, but now we know it is coming out. It's just out of nowhere. We get news that it's coming out in 2 months. So
yeah, no, that's exciting.
There's no news about it at all, and now
it's been filmed. It's been done for a while.
Yeah, it makes sense because you got to get these things out, man.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And he's also going to die soon.
Up there, yeah.
That's kind of what I was talking about.
That's now we know it's coming out.
He's fucking old.
Clint Eastwood fucking old in the Mule. He's fucking old in the Mule.
He's like he's the oldest like working director, and it's like probably not close, right?
I mean, like big
currently
director.
Right now.
I'm sure there's a guy making movies on his phone.
Are you sure?
Years old. I'm sure there's a guy with an iPhone making
that's older than Clint Eastwood making movies on his phone.
Yeah, posting on my YouTube for 5 views, maybe no views on some of them.
Okay.
It's quite sad.
We're gonna cut the news
of our auteurs on YouTube that are 110 years old.
The remaining pieces of news, there's just so many of them, and they're all pretty like minor, and I just don't want to. We're already at 2.5 hours. Let's not fucking rattle.
Francis Ford Coppola is suing Variety.
Sure. Yeah, you could mention that.
No, that's a big piece of news.
Yeah, that's one of the like 12 other headlines I have.
No, just rattle them.
Okay, rattle them.
Well, I didn't write them down because I have them on my phone. I could go through them, but then FFC one. There's the one with Sean Baker saying that he saw Mikey Madison in Scream, and as soon as he left the theater, he said that they have to contact her immediately.
Yeah, and that one GIF.
There's Judd Apatow to direct a Cola Wars movie produced by Steven Spielberg about the true story of Pepsi's attempt to challenge Coca-Cola's.
And you get mad at me when I don't like new movies, bro.
There's
the Coca-Cola kid exists.
There's the contenders for France has narrowed down their contenders for best international feature submission, which going along with the Oscar talk, it's All We Imagine As Light, The Count of Monte Cristo, Emilia Perez, and Misericordia.
It's gonna be The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, that's pop. But then also that would mean All We Imagine As Light and Emilia Perez get shut out of that category. So that's something to monitor. There's multiple competitors in that category that could be best picture nominees. And then there's Shailene Woodley is gonna play Janis Joplin. That's a thing.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear about this?
We're done with Shailene Woodley, by the way.
Yeah, no, biopic Shailene Woodley playing Janis Joplin. That's a thing.
Why? What the fuck?
Who knows?
I can't wait till they all meet up in the biopic.
Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Cretton is the top choice to direct the next Spider-Man movie.
We could have had a whole conversation about this, but
yeah, famously also directed Short Term 12, a movie that I love. And then he's kind of just gone into the Marvel studio.
The big thing with the Spider-Man movie, I guess not the big thing, but there's basically it's it's gonna be like a street movie with multiverse elements, and it's damn, there's never gonna be another Spider-Man movie again. What are you doing, Doug?
And then there's a report from just this morning of Valkyrae, the streamer who is set to appear in the live action. What?
We really report everything on this.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, I didn't have to do it. I mean, we could not talk about it.
No, keep it.
No, it's just that she's set to appear in the Minecraft movie, and they asked her about her experience with Jason Momoa, and she just talked about how he.
I think it was on a fucking YouTube.
He was mistreating the crew. She was disappointed. He was causing a whole scene. He was really mad at a bunch of people and yelling.
Yeah,
and then she was pretty much just
welcome to movies, man.
No, they say the streets say Jason Momoa is fucking.
Yeah, but they've been saying he's kind of a dick to work with. Yeah, this is not the first time we've.
No. I mean, there were terrible reports from the Aquaman 2 set. Yeah,
So apparently Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah, he was running around like he was Johnny.
Yeah, he was running around like he was Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that stuff is off. No, that stuff's not even funny. That's just
it's just terrible. He's evil. He's
it's
an evil guy.
Crazy fucking thing ever.
No, that's one of the craziest stories in the history of ever. Honestly, the fact that that's a real thing.
Crazy guy.
That's really fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Anyway, that's our news. We're gonna wrap up there. Owen just disappeared for the ending. We're gonna wrap up there. Next week, episode 85. We're gonna be talking about one of many movies, possibly, or multiple movies. The Substance comes out, Transformers 1 comes out, maybe even some other release. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
See you next week. We'll see you later.
Bye. Peace.